Yeah, buddies, it's the Ron and Fez show on a Monday. We completely skipped the weekend and went directly from Friday to Monday. Sitting in with me today, the front runner, Big J Oakerson. Big J, how you doing, buddy?
Front runner?
Giving yourself a really sad clap. That's really sad.
You know, I thought the whole room was going to break in the clap, and it ended up being just me.
This isn't a club. Yeah. This is not a nightclub.
Hey, you know, I love being here. It's great. Yay for you guys.
I'm looking over the show that you have, and I don't know why this show coming up isn't on HBO.
It's going to be a good one. It's a good lineup. It's
Big J's crowd work show. What's Your Fucking Deal? That's Tuesday, April 22nd at 9:30 at the Village Underground. And let's go over the names that you have in this.
Mm-hmm.
Keith Robinson is going to be there. Dan Soder.
Yeah. Keith Robinson's breaking the ice. How good is that?
Oh, is that... Yeah. And this doesn't happen in life. Bonnie McFarlane is going to be there.
Yes, indeed.
Luis Gomez is going to be there. David Tell, Dan Soder, and yourself.
Yeah. It's going to be a fun night. No material.
No material.
And those are all guys who just...
and gals.
And gals, that's right. Bonnie, who I think is just... she's brilliant. She did a... You know what the set list show is? Mm-hmm. Paul Provenza's thing, where you... They give you like these insanely difficult topics and made up words to work with. Mm-hmm. And last time she did it, she got on stage and she's like, "I'm ready. You know what? Let's not even dance around. No intro. Let's just fire away. Go." And then they put the first topic up and she goes, "Pass." That fucking made me laugh so hard.
Just pass.
Just pass. Let's move the next one.
Just pass. That's actually what she does with Voss as well. She's very funny.
Oh yeah, no, she is absolutely. She's not even funny for a girl. Just funny. She transcends.
You know, that compliment actually seems like it's misogynistic.
Yeah.
You just said, yeah. Yeah, it definitely is.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Vito, how come we never send plugs like this over to our social media people so we can tweet them at the exact times that I say it?
I don't know, but that's a good idea.
Thank you, Vito.
I love that idea.
I was worried.
I approve.
Okay, this is why I'm having a good day today. I'm winning over Vito. You know what I mean? Like, one person at a time I want to win my staff over. So that's Tuesday, April 22nd, 9:30 at the Village Underground. There can't be any tickets left for this. This is the biggest show I've ever heard of.
I have no idea. That's Christine put that all together. That's her. The
Christine does everything. We call her the heartbeat of comedy.
She is.
And you know who the heartbeat of rock and roll is?
Me.
You know? No, not you.
Oh, if you pointed at me, so I thought you were going to say me. Huey Lewis in the News?
Not the News, just Huey Lewis.
He's playing City Field in the post-game concert.
That's true. The News, I don't care for.
Do they still tour, the News?
Oh, just said they're playing City Field post-game concert.
Just the News?
No, Huey Lewis and the News.
I was saying just the News with a new singer.
But you know what? Everyone's going to go there and people are just going to put up Huey Lewis and the Jews posters. You know what I mean? It's not right. Particularly when we just finished Passover. So you're hanging out. You just got off the road?
Yeah, just came back from Cleveland.
Cleveland rocks.
Cleveland does rock. It was. I actually do like that city. They are not bashful at all. Some cities you go, especially in the Midwest, on Easter weekend, especially, you think the Boo Birds will come out and the Ooers and the Allers, especially those. They do this club particularly Hilarities, which was fantastic. They do early shows. The first show's 7 or 7:30, and those people are ready for filth immediately.
And that's 7 Central Time, right? So really, they're going out at 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it's weird. I think we're on the same timeline.
I don't know where it starts. I don't know where the timeline. Check it for me, would you?
When I see those things, those time changes, I actually that freaks me out because then I realize I don't know geography at all. I'm like, of course Texas is the East Coast time now.
Well, no, here's the weird thing about it. Now you used to have to turn it back, and now your phone just does it for you. Even when you're on a plane, the phone will just react. Yeah, what do you got there?
So, I got a map right here.
Yeah.
So, Cleveland, which is in Ohio, is in our time zone.
Okay, good. Where does it switch? Illinois?
It switches some of Indiana is in it and some of it isn't. Some of Kentucky.
There are some people who work, like, live one place and then work in another time zone.
Yeah.
So every day they're like, I got to get up an hour early tomorrow because I'm in another time zone.
Sounds like hell.
Yeah.
Because I work in a crap
It's got to be great
right?
for bars, though, right? Because you just go, this bar's closing down. We got an hour to drive drunkenly fast to the other time zone.
Daylight savings sucked to work.
You know, it's funny how useless the middle of this country is in your thoughts, that until I did comedy and traveled the middle of the country, I only thought it was either us or 3 hours behind us.
You didn't know there was something in between us and
I had no
LA?
idea it was a slow,
I didn't know there
build.
was two until just now.
You didn't know about Rocky Mountain?
I didn't know about Mountain Time Zone until just now.
This is a college-going intern, correct?
Yes.
I go to film school, though. We don't learn about
yeah.
maps.
Fair enough.
What about, did you go to public high school?
No, I went to. I actually went to like a college preparatory, like intense high school. Like,
But you played football.
Yeah.
All right. Now,
White LeBron James.
yeah, he is.
Just coasted him through and bought his mom a Hummer.
Here's Pat in Cleveland. You're new. I consider it your home away from home, Jay. Go ahead, Pat. Whoops, hold on. Let me try you one more time. Go ahead, Pat.
Hey, Big J. Saw you Friday night in Cleveland at the Late Show. It was awesome.
Oh, cool. Thank you, man.
How good it
The
was.
Late Show, that was 8 o'clock at night?
8:30 maybe. Had a
Eddie
weird
was great?
moment with Jay.
Yeah. So
I was walking down the street and I saw him. Hey, Big J. I didn't have anything else to say to him.
that's a lot, though. That's seriously a lot. All right, Big J, picking up that following in the Midwest.
That's
Now,
right.
here's the thing about Cleveland. In the old rock days, when people used to rock, if you had a band to break, you would break them in Cleveland first because those people show up for rock shows, and they go crazy for rock shows. So it was always considered a great town to introduce bands into, particularly metal bands.
I thought, really, particularly metal bands?
I had friends called Sabotage that were big stars there and really nowhere else.
Nowhere else.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, they came out for the comedy, and I said they were not, they weren't skittish at all. There was no, I almost have a prepared speech at this point to yell at crowds for not, laughing and doing more oohs.
By the way, did you go back and watch when you did a tell show? Did you see the girls wincing?
Yes.
It was my favorite thing.
Texting a friend to tell her to wince also.
Yeah.
Can you wince double for me?
But it was the slightest. It was a wince and down to the left, wince and down to the left. I got a big wince at Caroline the other night when I was talking with O&A and Jim Norton. And,
Weird that crowd would wince at all.
They wince because a lot of them brought their wives, you know?
That's the answer usually.
Yeah, that's it. You're like, I'm wincing in front of her.
Yeah,
you know?
isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
They're so afraid of being in trouble. I heard my dad use that term. This way, I saw my dad in Ohio, and he uses that term.
Your real dad.
My real dad. My real dad? You're not my real dad. Don't touch my posters.
Shut up, Greg.
Was it good stepfather names to work out to fight him to? Like, shut up, Gus. Get out of my fucking room.
Yeah, the thing is about stepfathers, for some reason you just use their own name against them as if it's the worst thing you could say. No one cares what you think, Phil. You know, and he's like, dude, it's a fucking name. I'm not embarrassed.
It's always proper names too. Like, shut up, Richard.
Right.
My dad's name is Gary. That's a better stepdad name than a real
It really
dad
is.
name.
Gary seems like...
And my stepdad's name is Joe, which is a great dad name.
You should have no faith in Joe. And then Gary said, like, look, I know that I haven't earned your trust yet, Jay.
I just want to hang out and have a catch with you. Shut up, Gary. You might be fucking my mom. You're not my dad.
Look, when you came in the room, what you saw was love, okay? I know it's alarming for a young boy to see their mom being taken doggy style, but that was love.
Oh, man. I don't know. My step pop and my mom, I heard some horrible things growing up coming out of that room, but the worst thing I ever did was I was looking for, I think I thought my stepfather may have had dirty magazines, and I looked under their bed for them, and when I looked under their bed, what I saw was they had these tethers tied to the post, like the bottom post of the bed, that have like cuffs on them, like the starfish, tie you to a bed while I guess I tickle or punch you.
I would have used that to strangle myself if I would have saw that in my mom's room.
While jerking off, or just to kill yourself? Which one?
Some artists.
Just to die. Just to die.
Well, if you're going to die anyway, you might as well jerk off, right?
So you're saying that just straight sex wasn't enough for
Terry? No. She was insatiable.
Oh, God.
My mom dated a lot when I was younger. It was hilarious. It was very, very funny. That's when me and Soder share that in common. We always laugh.
You, Soder, and Quentin Tarantino. Because Tarantino always acts like it's okay for him to write those scripts because his mom dated black dudes. So he's always like, hey, those guys were like junior dads to me, so I can talk this way.
Oh, that's great. No, my mom never dated. No black dudes.
No, she can't. She's in Philly. Why would she want her house burned down? They don't take it well.
I did watch my mom though in an actual like fight when I was younger, like a fist fight, because some lady came over and said that my mom was banging her boyfriend, which my mom claims this lady was crazy and there was no boyfriend, that she was delusional and thought some DJ was her boyfriend on the radio. But that said, my mom was banging some DJs. When I was younger, I do recall listening to the radio and being like, this is going out to Jason hanging out with his mom over at Small's Formal Wear. It's Michael Jackson's Thriller.
That's your life gets sadder and sadder.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Small's Formal Wear. My mom used to work at a tuxedo rental place. They had outlets on the floor, and I ended up sticking a paperclip in one of those one day. Learned that lesson quick.
Were you? Did you get to wear little tuxes?
I was the ring bearer at the fashion shows. Yeah, little local fashion shows.
Sweet.
That was great.
Did you have a beard then, or did you have beard in it?
We saw the picture. We saw the picture of me as a little ring bearer. I listened to that again recently. Someone clipped that on YouTube.
Was that right?
Making fun of the headshot. Man, that is hilarious.
That was a funny day.
I was playing it for my dad.
Your real dad?
Yeah, my real dad. I see him once every Gary. I see him once every 5 years, so I have to fill him in on everything going on in my life. And then sometimes do this radio show, and the people think I'm really funny. And listen to this. And I make them sit there while I play a bunch of.
You proud of me? You proud of me, Dad? Yeah, I do it for you. I do it for you. That's
you think I'm cool now? Do you think I'm cool?
Just have a drink of water. Just slow down.
There's not enough sand in the world to fill that hole in your chest. That's the saddest. There's this gaping hole in your chest.
That's why I do 7 spots a night on the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing makes up for not getting enough love.
So I don't have to feel.
Yeah. Is everyone okay now? We're all laughing, right? We're all laughing. It's a good time tonight. We're all laughing. There's no pain in here.
You hear them, Dad? They're clapping for me.
Okay? Well, you never did. Well, yeah, it could have been worse. Your dad could have stayed home like that. Yeah.
They fucking ran. They said my dad drove cab at night, but that's what I figured. My dad must be driving cab when I fell asleep. He was just sleeping in the living room. But I thought they fooled me and actually thinking he had a night job.
Yeah.
I was that dumb.
Yeah, driving a cab is like saying you were riding a horse. It's just you were taking a nice fucking heroin cruise. Oh. Your dad drives a cab while you sleep. And then when you wake up, he's home.
Everyone's working.
Did it ever come up in school, like, what does your dad do for a living?
Yeah, I would say cab driver. My dad's a cab driver. And always got, I didn't understand it at the time, but people gave me weird looks, like even the kids and the teachers. He drives cab at night. That's why he picks me up after school every day.
But he does it in a cab.
In a cab, yeah. What?
But your dad was there. You lived with your dad, right?
Yeah.
Your parents were together?
Fucking terrible.
All right, people wrote in that the opening slowdown was worse than ever today.
Of the pass along engineering.
But they worry about everything else.
Yeah.
But that.
We're talking like we're underwater, but...
Don't pass it on to engineering. Pass it on to Gil, because he wants to help.
Okay.
He's our stepdad now.
Thanks, Gil. Looks like the opener's fucking running great. God.
Yeah, I want pizza.
Yeah, I want pizza again. I want my own, Gil.
I don't want to eat dinner with you guys ever.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. It could be worse. That's what I'm trying to tell you all the time.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. My dad did one of the funniest things ever is like when your parents get divorced when you're young and dad lives like kind of far away, doesn't see that much. When they latch on to the few things they did, my dad's great one was he took my London Fog winter coat off layaway one year, and he would bring that up. So then at one point I didn't see him for a long time, and he came to visit me in New York, and he came by. He's like, "Hey, I got a bad rap from your mom and everybody, but I remember being there a couple times when you needed me." He goes, "I took that jacket off layaway." He mentioned that. I'm telling you that I was 30 years old when he did that. And then like 2 years later, he came to visit. I was in Pittsburgh doing gigs, and I had my buddy Dave with me, who's a comedian also, and we shared a room. He was opening for me, so we had to share a hotel room. And my dad got there really early in the morning, and because I just like it was too early, I had to go take a shit in the shower, and I just left him almost immediately with my friend in another room. And he goes, and my friend Dave also has a father who like his parents were divorced, and he has like similar like stories as I do. And he said, my dad was sitting there, he goes, "Yeah," he goes, "I wish I could have seen him more growing up. It was hard. We were so far apart, but." I remember being there. Like, I think I took his coat off layaway. My buddy Dave said he brought the coat on layaway like within the first like 5 minutes, which is just great. But yeah, it's great though. We're all adults now. We get along good.
Now, does this fuck up whether you want how you feel as a dad?
I don't think it fucks it up. No, I think it fucks up because I have like. If there's like business reasons or work reasons that I can't see her for like my daughter for like 4 or 5 days in a stretch when I normally don't do that.
Yeah.
Like I get panicky, and it's for like good and selfish reasons. It's like because one, I really do want to see her, but like I also start worrying that everyone around her is going to start being like, "Where's your dad? He's just never around, huh? Doesn't care at all," and it just like that winds me up. So like it's fueled by genuine like desire to be a good father, and like that that I make sure it's like I call a couple times a day and speak to her when I'm on the road and everything like that. So it's like just so she knows I'm there. So yeah, no, it's been a good thing I think for the most part.
That has to be. I mean, you go one way or another.
Yeah.
My old man didn't have an old man, so he took it very, very seriously.
Yeah.
He never saw his dad.
Ever.
Yeah. Well, here's a weird fucking story. When my dad was in his 30s, he gets a call from this woman saying, "Your dad died. He's been with me the last couple of years. You want to come say goodbye?" And he fucking drove down. He drove from Philly down to Mississippi to this Carney woman's house to, see his dad laying in a casket. And when I was told that story, I said, "Did you push the casket over?" I go, "Did you push the casket over?" And he goes like this, "What is wrong with you? What kind of person?" I go, like to make a statement.
Revenge.
Yeah.
You want to get revenge.
Like, look, now you're dead laying on the floor. But no, it was just the opposite. He actually brought that woman into our life, and she kind of was my grandmother after that.
Oh, really? That's so. Yeah. That is weird that it does trickle down. Like, did you know, Hicks, if your dad's dad sucked, or was he great?
I think he was a coal miner. That's all I know.
So probably sucked.
Probably not a good man. No.
That's a weird one. He goes, "Was he good or bad?" He goes, "It's coal miner."
That's all I know
black
about.
Lung.
Oh, yeah, Spy Report.
Spy Report. Spy Report.
The Boston Marathon is over, and for the first time since 1983, an American won. So,
yeah.
Really?
USA.
What's up?
Boston Strong, Dirty Water, that whole fucking thing is done. And I guess it stayed safe and nice and good, and it's all happiness in Boston today.
Why was it a redheaded freckly guy who won?
Yeah, it was Big Poppy. Big Poppy came in. I hope he didn't get out of a car somewhere with like 100 yards left. So they're Boston Strong.
I'm going to tell you about my town. I'm going to tell you a big fat story.
This is a lot better than Fly Eagles Fly, isn't it? For having a theme song.
I like Fly Eagles Fly.
I find it to be the most embarrassing song I've ever heard in my life.
It's a stupid song.
Mm-hmm. But you like to sing along with it?
Hit 'em low, hit 'em high.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Isn't it weird that like your gut though is also to say hit 'em high, hit 'em low? But that's wrong. You got to hit 'em low, then hit 'em high, and watch the Eagles fly. Because you don't want to watch the Eagles flow.
Eagles, fly.
Oh.
Seriously.
Do you know how many middle-of-their body, fat, titted chicks have lifted their shirts to this song. Hey, 700 section.
Oh, I'm excited.
Hey, look at this pig I met outside by the pretzel cart.
Fly, eagle, fly, on the road to victory.
What's your fucking deal? Big Jay's Crowdwork show comes out, it's going to be Tuesday, 9:30 at the Village Underground, which is exactly where David Tell shoots his show.
Yep.
When I was just commenting, to me, that's the perfect look.
It was. That show is, it really is cool. Yeah, I got a chance to see it again, the first 2 episodes, and just, it looks so neat. Like, it was, he really, I said when he was in here, too, it's like that Rodney Dangerfield thing where he's really giving an opportunity to a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a really fun show, man. It's really, really cool that he's doing that. And he's really, I noticed, unlike a lot of other guys, he doesn't feel the need to bust balls while he's giving opportunity to people. There's a lot of guys that when they're established, they're like, here's an idiot coming up on stage right now.
He owes me big time.
Basically saying, go get your shine box. But he puts people over. He puts people over. Tells a good guy. So, this Crowdwork show, you don't even think about it. You just go in and do it.
Yeah, you can't overthink it. I think most of these guys are good enough to know. It's like if you just kind of like, it's better just to rely on your wit than to come in with anything. I don't even like to, I look at the audience for the first time pretty much the second I get on stage. I don't really scan them too much before, and just kind of.
You're not like, oh, thank God, a fat lady with a bad hat.
No, because there is always that, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, even the most benign things you can just the way anyone's dressed. If they're dressed normal, it's not it's normal for something specific you could say that makes it funny.
What would you do for Vito here?
Well, I say it looks like I'm looking in a fucking mirror.
See, I would go immediately with double XL Eddie Munster. And hope that there were enough Munsters fans out there.
I would love that.
Yeah, I know you would.
I'd be like, yeah.
You still into your wrestling in a big way, Vito?
Fuck yeah, I'm into wrestling in a big way.
What's
Pro
happening?
wrestling?
Yeah, he one day he couldn't work. He came in, but he all but laid down because the Undertaker lost.
The streak ended, and it was in a really bad way that really annoyed me, where they didn't put over new talent, and it was a bad match.
It bummed you? Really? You were actually bummed about it?
I came in the next day, I was like, man, took away Daniel Bryan's moment, because the streak was the biggest thing. Brock Lesnar didn't deserve it.
You're sad with writing. The writing.
Yeah, he thinks about it very, very heavy instead of just watching it.
Yeah,
you're actually thinking what if I were in charge?
Well, yeah, it's fun to think about possible storylines and what would work better for the best for business, what could play over a few months in, and the way
you started Backyard Wrestling organization. With you and your friends.
Because I live in Manhattan. There's no backyards.
Oh, yeah,
rooftop. There's plenty of rooftop bars.
Shit,
rooftop fucking wrestling.
Rooftop wrestling. I would now go to that.
That's a real investment in fake fighting.
RCW.
I like wrestling. I actually a rare tweet I sent out this weekend. So I watched a couple wrestling documentaries. And they really bring such glory and nobility and a real sense of accomplishment to fake fighting in those documentaries.
Yeah.
It's really
What ones
amazing.
did you watch?
This weekend I watched what was the one I watched this weekend?
Triple H one?
No, I watched that kind of recently. That was a stroke fest though. I watched them all.
Did you see the Mick Foley one?
I was I've seen the Mick
popped up in
My
it?
favorite is the I watched the that Ultimate. You ever see the Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior?
Yeah.
No.
I've seen it.
You don't watch any of them?
I only watched the ECW one.
Why just that one?
Because ECW is the best fucking goddamn one out of all of them.
Great response.
But they're all good documentaries. I agree with you that it's all kind of stupid, but it's that's the best one. They're all good.
I wish they would never break kayfabe, though. I wish they would just still act like anyone who acts like it's fake gets beat up.
Even when they're old?
Yeah, I just love that.
The two guys that got arrested, the Wild Samoans, they got arrested one time and they refused to speak English. They weren't going to let anybody know.
They all get arrested all the time because no one fucking parties like those guys.
Yeah.
They party crazy.
Shawn Michaels was getting into fights with Marines and shit back in the 90s.
I know, remember the Nasty Boys?
Yeah.
This is even before they were fucking famous. So it was down in Florida wrestling. So they get all fucked up and they're in this guy's car And he's happy to be with the wrestlers. And they took the car and they opened the fucking doors and they were driving backwards in the fucking telephone poles and ripping the fucking doors off. And then they went driving around like that.
Jeez. And that's like Hulk Hogan's buddies. Right? That's what I watched. I watched Finding Hulk Hogan. Did you ever see that documentary?
No.
It was hilarious. It was like him going through his right after his divorce.
Oh, yeah.
We're supposed to feel really bad for him. And then it shows he was actually brought back by having a girlfriend who I think might be clinically retarded, and Black Church. Those are the two things that brought him back from I swear to you, Black Church. He goes to Black Church and he's like, "Come on now, Jesus," and he stands up and does Black Church shit. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I was laughing to myself a lot. And I was stoned, but I think it was even a sober laugh.
But do you believe the documentary, or do you think he just faked the Black Church thing? Because I wouldn't believe anything that he said.
I think Hulk Hogan goes to Black Church.
I don't believe anything any of them would ever say. It's like when the one guy had a heart attack on TV.
Waller.
I never believed it. I still think,
fake?
just everything's a work.
The best was 2 weeks later, they were eating fucking double cheeseburgers and milkshakes right after he came back from a heart attack. They ordered a bunch of Sonic burgers and he's eating down on it and everybody's posting why would you give this guy fucking burgers after he just collapsed in the ring?
No, he knows he's safe. Now he's good.
He's just this is the video. If you back up, it's a little closer to the
beginning.
Yeah, he goes to a big hilarious Black Church. It's quite a scene.
Here's Tim. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, I just wanted to say you guys have talked about Bonnie and Keith. It's going to open the show, and everybody knows how funny David Tell is. But a crowd work show, I went to Jay's reporting at the stand last month in March, and he has to be one of the best in the entire world at doing crowd work. He did an hour straight of nothing but crowd work for this album recording, and he absolutely murdered the room.
You murdered the room.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I hope so. It was, we were recording that.
Is that out now, or?
No, not yet. I hope they don't edit it too much. I'd like to just combine some stuff. Just kind of have it be one thing straight through, because there were some callbacks and stuff in it that kind of happened organically.
You're never in charge of any of the editing for that. You give away the editing.
No, I think I'll be a part of the editing on that. Yeah, absolutely. I hope, man.
All right, good.
Did you guys see David Tell's special?
Yeah, it's great.
How amazing was that?
Yeah, it's just great.
I think it's changed. It's gonna the fact that it's club sets as a special is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It's the best thing that they ever have captured of him by far.
I forget who we were talking this about, but the bigger you make stand-up, the more ridiculous it gets.
It's just for the immediate stroke of it. You know what I mean? I've never, when I'd watch the coolest thing about watching a Dane Cook special was watching him come down the aisle slapping hands with the people whose hand he slaps on the way to the stage. It would be if you just took those people, would be the biggest crowd I've ever performed in front of, minus the rest of the stadium going on. So, but then he gets on that, in the round stage, and then it's I see Kevin Hart, same thing. It's like that. It's such a big thing that it's I don't know. When you lose that intimacy, you lose 95% of what I find fun about doing comedy.
Well, did you see Chris Rock's last one when he was in Johannesburg,
Yes.
and it would switch from place to place
in between joke, right?
Yeah.
It was fucking nuts.
It really took you out of it.
It was 3 different people telling. It was like Run DMC telling jokes. Take my wife, please.
See, that would be the new fucking angle that you could do, is you put up a bunch of guys and they all have to do the same material, and you see who can sell it better.
I like that idea. Sell one person's bit.
But it would be tough going on last, being the 10th fucking person who had to tell the story. And yet, well worth it. What do you act like? You were going to write it down, Chris?
I was acting.
You got your pen out for what reason today?
This idea's fucking golden.
You okay, Vito?
Yeah, he was just he's pumped about the idea.
I know, but I like when you start to swing as my wingman. It really is a nice thing.
I got your back, dude.
Yeah, I don't want you to.
You know what? I have your back so much, I won't have your back.
Double XL Eddie Munster. There he is, ready to fucking rock the world. Try to fucking work out your drawstring, too. You're a little tilted out.
He's up late bartending, yeah? Is that what you do? You bartend,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Nice.
You want to come sometime? Get fucked up.
We'll bring your kid. That's
You let
fine.
everybody drink for free, all your friends? You know, let's say it.
Sometimes, I throw my friends drinks. Like, my girlfriend doesn't fucking pay, and she gets fucked up.
Your girlfriend gives you a bunch of shit. I saw her the other night, that O&A show.
And she got hit on during the O&A show, and that was awesome.
By who?
By Anthony.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't know.
You guys got a hot girlfriend?
Huh?
Got a hot girlfriend, Vito?
Yeah.
Nice.
He does.
Yeah.
Good job.
She's a little older than you, though, right?
She's 20. She's about to be 24 this weekend.
How old are you?
21.
Nice.
I lied about my age for the first, 3 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Where, here?
To her. I lied about it. I took her. I remember when I told her how old I was. We were sitting down in a bar, and I went, "So, what's the youngest you'd ever date?" And she goes, "You." And I was like, "What if I told you I was younger?"
And she was like, "That's cool."
No, first she just didn't fucking speak.
Really?
And then I was like, because my 21st birthday was coming up, and I told her, I was like, "Yeah, I told you now because I didn't want it to come out on my birthday."
That's a weird thing. Being 36 now, doesn't that sound crazy to anyone else? That difference that she's like, all right, I don't know. I got to do some hard thinking about this because there's a big difference between 24 and 21.
It was 10 minutes, and then she was like, "I hate you for lying," but
Jay, you're just about to enter the age where the entire spectrum is dateable to you. That there will be no low and no high. It's just all dateable.
No, I don't know, man. I can't go too low. I get really easily this person's retarded. I have to be able to talk a little bit to some degree.
The basic social run is half plus 7.
Yeah, that's what they say.
So you'd be with a 20-year-old. You could be with a retarded 20-year-old.
That's difficult. I don't. Here's the thing. I pure physical act.
Yeah.
Of fucking, I can go with a 20-year-old. I think, but
then she has to leave immediately.
Yes, frightened if possible. Holding her clothes and yelling help.
You don't want to be with someone when they go like this. What do you mean when you say Rolling Stones?
Yes,
what
exactly.
What does that mean? Wait, there was a president before Obama? Bush. That's a weird name for someone.
I said it on stage. My cutoff is any girl who doesn't know who Alf is, I can't fuck. If I say Alf and you look confused, then...
And you have to keep an Alf in your room when you're having sex, no matter what.
I got the hand pup that used to go.
Look at Alf! Look at him!
Like that?
Tell Alf what I'm doing to you!
Looking at a picture of my dad. Is she pretty enough, Dad?
Everybody's a family! Me, Alf, and my girlfriend!
You're not going to leave forever, right?
I didn't see the later seasons.
You fucking trying to turn him on with that voice?
That was hot.
Give it to me, Jay.
Shelby's hot. You see those tight pants he's wearing?
No, come on in, Shelby. Let me take a
tight.
look at it.
Show it off.
Vito, switch out with him for a second.
Show
Let's
it
see
off.
if you can beat him to that chair before he gets to your chair. Go, Vito. I want you to win.
You can just fucking shove him to the ground.
A lumbering run.
Yeah. That's a lineman's
He's heavy-footed.
Shape 45 doesn't know what the hell's going on.
There was no heel toe in that run.
How does a fucking intern beat you, Shelby?
Take a full black.
Do modeling so we can take a look at your pants.
I want to look at it.
You have no torso. What your legs go right into your armpits. That's a weird. You know what? I talked to your agent. You may get a new comic book series called Stickman, where you will get the part.
Well, it's just in development. Nobody would buy it.
And he's got that fucking evil little vampire face.
But not like Twilight vampire. We don't even want to see this.
You have double XL Eddie Munster and emaciated Eddie Munster, both working in your intern room.
I'm going to check to see if Vito's taking his food. This happens at the zoo all the time.
You just put him in a closet with an IV at night. He'll be fine.
I'm going to chew his food for him and spit it in his mouth like a mama bird.
You really take care of your employees.
Yeah, I do my best. I just have to keep them alive. That's my first thing. Right now, I got him sleeping in a shoebox. Poor little bastard.
Can you change out that newspaper at least?
Oh, you had a different life because he didn't have a dad who left. He had a mom who left, which I think is completely different. Yeah.
That's very odd, I'd say.
I don't know if it was somebody just left, if that was taken away, but...
You were pulled from her hands? She was an unfit mom.
It was like a custody battle, I'd say. She thought she was fit, you know. I still do. I guess it's up to the judicial system.
So she had to stand in front of a judge?
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
I mean, seriously, if I'm a judge, to give a kid to a man over a woman, that woman would have to have a crack pipe in her fucking mouth at that second. I just can't do it. I think men are terrible with children.
Well, I think the judge was like a construction lawyer. Like, he dealt with that kind of shit, and then they're like, oh, we got this
So
case.
you didn't want to leave your mom?
No. I mean, I had to move to a different state.
Were you holding on to her leg when you were being pulled out of the house?
No, I think I was at that point like, hey, let's just accept this. I got a plane to catch.
Was she crying?
Yeah.
No, but don't.
In the weeks leading up, sure.
Did you feel like it was your fault? Like if you had been better, this wouldn't have happened?
I mean, you had to have, right? Being that young.
And now you say you won't cry under any circumstances, right?
No, I never. Like, there's a lot of times since then I should have cried, and then it's
like people dying and you can't cry.
Yeah, I think I was just maybe like 8. Maybe freshman in high school, my dog died, and my dad told me, of course, my brother starts crying, because it's like, we had the dog for a long time, and I'm just like, ah, man, that's a bummer, but, you know, hey, she's old. What are you going to do?
I mean, this is the origin story of a serial killer.
Yeah, it is. You had no empathy whatsoever.
There's no emotions in Shelby.
No.
I cried yesterday. Music will get me.
Yeah.
I cried too much. You never cry.
No, I almost cried that movie, Stepmom, with Susan Sarandon.
Sure, because that reminds you of your own mom, right?
Yeah. Damn it, Susan. Let Julia Roberts raise those kids.
What music makes you cry? Inagata Davida?
Yeah. Minute 32 of Inagata Davida. It really, I don't know. Something about that chord progression just tickles me every time. It depends. All kinds.
You cried at a movie?
Yeah, absolutely.
What was the last movie you cried at?
Shit. You know, I don't know if I ever told this on the show before, but I can't remember the last one. It probably was TV or something, but I'll tell you a movie that I did. I brought a girl on a date when I was younger, and this was like in my way wiggery phase of life, which was the only reason this happened, because this girl was definitely into black dudes, for sure. White girl, though, and I took her to see to a movie. She said yes, and we went to see Armageddon. And everything from when Bruce Willis pulled Ben Affleck's air hose and shoved him back in and said, "Take care of my baby." From that on, it was me fist fighting myself to not bawl in front of this girl who was like, "Dude, this popcorn suck," and I'm like, "Oh God."
See, the thing is, that is like every man's fantasy is like to leave their kids with something that they could never repay. You know, just makes up for anything. So then if you're like, oh, he never took you to the zoo. Oh, was that before or after he saved your fucking husband's life for you? Huh? A guy that really didn't even like so much.
I think I might have shed a tear during Armageddon too, but it was
Do you realize you just said shit a tear?
I have these glands there too.
Yeah.
But mine was when Buscemi got space madness. That just made me tear up.
Oh.
You ever notice, like, in every movie like that, he's tied to something and they don't let him get out? There's like 2 movies in a row.
Con Air.
I fucking cried at Armageddon, too, because I couldn't find my wallet during the movie and they wouldn't turn the lights on. And then I stopped crying because I found out that it was at home. So everything
I never even brought it.
So that turned out to be a great movie. I mean,
implying that your date paid for the movie?
Oh, yeah.
You still got in somehow.
Here's someone called Anonymous for you, Jay. Anonymous.
Hey, Jay. Hey, man, it's the guy that hooked you up with a couple of joints down in Indianapolis.
Oh, nice. This is why he wants to stay anonymous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, maybe someone from corporate's listening. But they just want to know if you ever found any smoke when you were up in Cleveland.
I did. Of course I did. Eventually, if you insult the city enough, eventually someone comes through.
Someone will give you weed.
Yeah, they're like, we can't let him think that.
Yeah. You do that thing of, man, this town's dry. There's no good weed in this town.
It's amazing.
Oh, yeah?
It's amazing how much like potheads want their city to not be like considered like a shitty weed city. So they really will. It's like, hey man, I work 4 hours from there, but I could probably be there around 8 o'clock with some weed if you want. And I'm like, oh, you don't have to do that, but I appreciate it. I will get you the easiest thing to get in the world. Free tickets to my show.
I saw you smoking weed on YouTube.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
On that,
with Doug Benson.
Yeah, the Doug Benson get together. And see, I still, to me, I think the whole thing's going to roll back sooner or later, and everyone's going to get busted. So I'd still fucking, shut the blinds. I don't trust these motherfuckers.
You smoke weed? You don't smoke weed.
No, I don't smoke anything anymore. Yeah. It's all gateway drug for me.
Do you believe when they say weed's a gateway drug? I say it's a gateway back. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes, you know what I mean? You have to have the mentality because it definitely has not been a gateway drug for me in any way. But I guess if I went on to other things, it's like an easy, slow climb back. You don't think you're an
addictive personality, though, do you?
No, I am very much so. That's my whole point is being like, I know that enough to know that if I started doing coke, I would have probably had a coke problem.
I think you could do one bump, just one fucking big blast, and then just turn your back on it.
There's only one way to find out, man.
Yeah, there's only one way to do it.
And, if I'm doing a bump, I'm going to get that big Scarface pile in front of me and just face fuck it.
No, you got me fucking thinking. There you are, smoking fucking weed on YouTube. This is Doug's show now where he just brings on different celebrities and gets high with them.
You know what I found interesting about this?
Yeah.
He brings you on to smoke weed, and I thought interview you, and then he just smokes weed with you and goes completely introverted. I think at one point I'm asking him, I'm like, so what are you into when you smoke weed? You watch cartoons, or do you what are we doing here, buddy?
You had to take the stick, huh? All right, we're going to do this with Jay because he's getting a lot of calls today. So, what do you want? We'll give out some prizes for really good questions. But, what do you want? 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Because we're kicking the tires here with Jay today. And let's see what he can handle, what he's willing to talk about, what he's willing not to talk about.
I'll talk about anything.
Are you going down to the Moon Tower thing?
No, I did South by Southwest, and one of them...
You can't do one or the other?
One of them gets pissed if you do both.
Is that right?
I don't remember which one it is. But that Moon Tower is really cool. South by Southwest is amazing, obviously.
Uh-huh.
But Moon Tower is a really cool thing, too. It's just a straight-up comedy festival, which is nice.
Yeah, it's been doing fantastic, too. It's really...
it doesn't make the streets... Like, I don't like when... You do a festival town. I like the shows are always great at festivals, but like the elbow to elbow through the city is the worst. And Austin's a cool city to like walk around when it's not packed in the streets.
You like to go in the middle of summer when it's really fucking hot. And you can go anywhere you want to. Here's Tom. Tom, you're on the air, buddy. What do you want?
Shelby. I want to ask Shelby a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Would Shelby cry if Fez died?
Yeah, I think I'd cry if Fez died.
If.
What?
Yeah, what do you want? Yeah, what do you want?
866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. All right, someone wrote this in. Anonymous gets to stay anonymous, but then he outs Jay as a pot smoker. That's a really good point.
Yeah, what a scumbag.
Yeah. That's a fucking good point. He's worried about his job. Jay's fucking could be worried that he could end up not being able to appear on David Tell's Comedy Underground anymore.
Is it drug testing?
He's a known weed smoker.
I drank the tea before we did this season.
Smart idea.
Just dried myself out a little bit.
Let's go over here to Sean. Sean, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, boys. Hey, Jay, I was going to ask, you think growing up in Philly made you the comic you are, or would you be just as funny growing up in another city?
I don't know. That is a good question.
Philly finished, I think, as low as 12th as the funniest cities in America.
Is that a real gauge?
Just came out over the weekend. It was in the New York Times. Guess what was number one? Chris, what would you say?
New York City.
New York City, I think, finished fifth.
Yeah, what do you want?
Shelby's reading instead of fucking playing games. We're trying to play a game, Shelby. You know what? I shouldn't have put you into the veto fucking spot.
And then I already saw the answer.
Oh, great. Switch out with Vito.
Yeah. Vito, get back in here.
And make sure you turn off your fucking mic in there, too.
No, just
See who gets here first.
I like watching them walk away in them jeans. Them shits are tight. He had to cut the bottoms. The bottoms are cut so his feet can fit through.
You would break your dick off in that ass. I don't think it's anything like that I would ever want to bang.
Yeah, what do you want?
So that was Getting Dug with High was the name of the show that you did.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I feel like I should answer the guy's question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if it's... I know it's definitely one of the reasons I definitely focused on being funny was because the neighborhood went pretty scary black sort of quick. And that was my... And I think actually, even when I went to school in Jersey for a little bit, when it wasn't like that, it's... I think that was always just my way to kind of, like... Yeah, I think anywhere I would have done that because I'm not an athlete. I was fat and insecure, so that was my way to, like... make people think I was cool.
You have no athletic ability whatsoever.
No, I do, but never like the star guy. And I was always like, if it makes sense, like growing up playing like neighborhood sports more than organized sports.
Right.
Like, you know, when I went to a school that finally had a football team, and they were like, "Oh man, like we need you on that football team." I'm like, "Yeah, what do we do? I'm a quarterback. What are we doing here?" And they're like, "You're not a quarterback. Like, you're offensive lineman." I go, "Nah, that's boring, man. I got a cannon." And like, we can't have a 315-pound quarterback. I'm like, "No, sure you can. I'm impossible to tackle."
I will say this, and it's still true of Philly, that people will play pickup sports. Where, do you ever notice you never drive down the street now and see, I don't know, kids playing a baseball game on their own without having uniforms on? They have to be organized.
I played mostly pickup sports. Basketball, man, everyone after school used to go, and it would be like, you know, you call next, and it was like 3 games going at once.
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez.
Yeah, what do you want?
Here's J-Bomb in Philly. J-Bomb, what's up?
Well, yeah, it's J-Bone, but that's all right. We're not going to quibble over that. I just wanted to say great unmasked, even though Tracy seemed a little crazy. Seemed like he knew what he wanted to say and didn't really care what you were asking him, but it was great.
He was in his own scene.
Tracy.
Yeah, he was very funny. The Zen of Tracy Morgan is up there, and you want to read some of the things that he said during that, but in your own voice. He cried twice, both times, I believe, talking about Martin Lawrence.
But a couple times he busted out good lines when he did the impression of the guy that runs Saturday Night Live and all that.
Lorne.
That was
yeah. Everyone
Lorne
who's ever done Saturday Night Live has a Lorne impression, even the women.
You got to hear Kurt Metzger's story. Tracy Morrison. We both have like a good, like, Tracy just says something, it's completely fictitious, or Kurt's got a good one about driving with him. But I have Tracy's such an aggressive, intimidating lunatic that he makes up things about our past together that just never happened, and I just agree with him.
Yeah.
He's come up to me, he goes, "Jay Boogie, you remember when you came to New York on my doorstep with your suitcase? And you was like, 'Yo, Tracy, help me out. I want to make you. Look at you now, son.'" And it's like, that never happened. But I just go, I go, "It's great, dude." He's like, "Yo, I told you I'm going to produce your special." And then you're like, "Great, dude. You want to go on the road?" He showed up in a yellow Lamborghini, I think, once in the cellar. He's like, "That's how I'm rolling." And then he left. And then, like, it was like a week later or something. Remember, it was reported in the news. It was like, Tracy Morgan test drives Lamborghini, doesn't bring it back for a week.
So he's still seeing whether he enjoyed it or not.
Can't tell.
Anything looks good on the lot, but what is it like after a week of hard driving? That's when I'll make my purchase.
City potholes, just leaving it in front of the cellar to get tickets.
All right, 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Here's Greg in PA. Hey, Greg.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up?
Hey, Big J Oakerson. Why
Yes, sir.
don't you come up to Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and get a comedy festival started? We need to get some big-name comics up here.
This is a great idea. You tie that in with the Little League World Series.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. The town would overflow.
Have you ever been to Williamsport?
Williamsport, Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Where's that at? What's that near?
It's not near anything. That's the beauty of it.
The Blue Route?
Northeast, north central Pennsylvania. It's 100 miles west of Wilkes-Barre. It's about 4 hours from Philadelphia.
When someone's bragging about being outside of Wilkes-Barre, where you got to go out of your way to say, here's a close place because you could land a prop plane there. You know?
We do a comedy festival where it's 20 minutes from cell phone service.
Oh, we have good cell phone service up here.
Sure
Actually, it's the Williamsport is the center for Marcellus shale drilling, which is bringing a lot of big.
You're proud of your town, and that's great. You're proud of your town.
What are they the home of?
Great cell reception.
Home of Little League Baseball and home of Marcellus shale drilling.
Oh, fracking. Great.
Yeah, you're frack boys.
You won't be able to drink the water there, but there'll be a fucking festival.
Yeah. Well, you won't drink the water, but you'll drink the fire that's coming out of this.
And it's a festival, so bottled water will only be $7 a bottle.
There you go. You could have a whole series on fracking.
All right, thanks, dude.
The more we talk about it, the more I'm into it.
Fracking tour. Go there, go to Nebraska.
Next year, we're getting a motel. So we can tie that in with the opening.
We got a singer in the lobby.
You guys ought to come down later. We set up cheese and crackers. And everybody just has a great time.
Oh, hotel lobby bragging is the best.
Yeah, you mingle.
I'm just saying, we got this machine. When you turn a crank, cereal falls into a styrofoam bowl.
It's terrific. Come on down. It's a continental lunch.
It's 9 to 11. It's always times. It's 4:30 to 6:15.
It's exactly when you can't go. It's awesome.
You can make half soggy, half burnt toast.
It's really nice, and everybody gets to know each other. You know, it's really great. We keep Good Morning America on over there in the corner.
A bunch of plastic cups full of, I think, is pancake or waffle mix.
It's always funny to me why someone is proud of where they're from. You know,
it's usually never for the thing that's on the sign when you get to that city. Like I've never heard anyone from is that Newark, where it's like, yeah, well, you try to get something embroidered, not in New York, because it's the home of, like, the sign's like the home of embroidery. Embroidery capital of the world is Newark, New Jersey. That's the sign. They should just brag about their crime before they brag about that. Carjacking, still alive and kicking in Newark, New Jersey.
Here's Bill. Bill, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, I know it's switching gears a little bit, but Jay, I had a question for you. I wanted to know if you agree with me. Does Pepper Hicks look like the white version of the bartender from Three Amigos?
My little buttercup.
My little buttercup. Yes.
Smile.
Smile.
All right, that's going into the big ass prize closet.
Yeah, what do you want?
Oh, Pepper. That fucking guy does resemble you.
It's passing. I don't have those fucking mutton chops, and I'm a white man.
All right. No trouble, okay, amigos?
Hey.
Dude, you gotta fucking seriously dress like that from now on, the rest of the summer. What did the guy win, Pepper?
He wins a signed Tracy Morgan book. Signed Tracy Morgan.
You made it sound like kind of shitty instead of a good thing.
Shitty, it's fucking great.
I know, but the way you threw it out there, the word that you pushed was signed.
Yeah, signed.
Instead of Tracy Morgan.
By Tracy Morgan.
Signed Tracy Morgan. Okay, amigos. Put this up, Chris. I hate to keep you in the game, but...
Great. No hotel. I could kill somebody.
Excuse me. You are the...
Yes, we are.
We have heard of you.
No kidding.
I have a message for you. The German says to wait here.
Yeah.
He's like the producer of the bar.
Yeah.
Well, so long as we've got some time to kill, I think I'll have a beer.
We don't have no beer, just tequila.
What's tequila?
Yeah, it's like beer.
Is it fattening?
Fattening?
Forget it. If it's like beer, we'll have some.
You know, Chris, you were fucking great in that movie.
It wasn't me.
My little buttercup.
I'll argue that's one of the funniest ones of all time.
All right, here's a little trivia question. Who wrote all the music for that? Vito.
I do not know.
I'm just going to guess Randy Newman.
One of you is absolutely correct. Big J.
Was that
Randy
nailed it?
Newman wrote all all the songs?
He just seems like that's something that would happen. That was completely a guess.
Was
An
it really?
educated guess.
If that was $1 million question, this would have been TV history. Everybody would be talking about it for years.
I wouldn't have been confident enough to say yes to go for $1 million, but I would have been so pissed when I was right.
This is why you are ready to headline the Williamsport fucking comedy special.
It's my festival, so.
John, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie B, we need to, since it's Monday, find out if Pepper Hicks has got you lined up at Tribeca with anything, or if he's still slacking.
He's slacking on that, although we are bringing in someone really cool from the Tribeca Film Festival on what, Wednesday?
Wednesday, yeah.
Is it confirmed, or you're too nervous?
It's confirmed. It's confirmed.
Do you want to announce? Or do you feel better not knowing that you won't step on your own dick if this person...
I feel better not stepping on my own dick.
Okay.
Because you never know with these bookings. But it's confirmed as of right now.
If I could step on my own dick, I would just say anything. I was making a bunch of lies. Like De Niro's coming in every day this week. You gonna bitch about it? I'll be over here stepping on my own dick.
Well, I mean, it could just mean that your foot is fucking short.
you have one total gimp.
You're a paraplegic.
Doesn't mean a lot. Oh, why are you gonna attack that?
That's come on. It's
You
just
have a foot
torso.
growing out of your
It's a torso.
thigh.
Christine, by the way, has been working to book this thing at Williamsport the whole time that we've been talking.
In and out of the room.
So far, she's got Jimmy Schubert. I'm ready to go. If you need anybody, give me a call. Is it on the other side of the world? Good.
I'm there.
Slate mentioned to me last night. I thought I'd get a hold of you. Hey, Austin, you're on the Ron and Fez show. What's up?
Oh, buddy, here's a big J. Let me ask. Jay, Z-Rock was like the funniest fucking show that was on for like 2 seasons, and I loved it, man. Me and my friends would just hang out, watch that shit. Why don't you think it went over?
I think it was a personal. I think it was some kind of personal beef between the production and the network because they don't even repeat it ever. Like, we were on with the whitest kid you know.
I can't even find it on. I can find it online, but not through like the normal channels and shit. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do they repeat the whitest kids ever?
They repeat the whitest kids you know. We were on the same time. They repeat them a bunch, but they've completely taken it like off their, almost completely out of their history that it existed. But that was a fun show.
Something horrible happened.
Something really terrible must have happened.
Someone was raped.
Really though, that character Neil still makes me fucking laugh, man. You were great. You're the best.
Thank you so much, man.
No problem, man. Later.
Here's our buddy Fuck. What's up, Fuck?
Hey, Big J.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, I was just wondering, when Fez eventually dies, and I'm sure it will be pretty soon, are you ready to step up and make it the Ron and Jay show? Because everybody's pretty much sick of Shelby.
Shelby has, well, here's the thing with Shelby. He's proven to be ballless. It's like his balls have been clipped.
Yeah, he's somewhere in the androgynous middle between man and woman that just nobody likes. And we need another Philly guy in there. I think you'd be great.
Well, I will give you the Fez update. These are all the things wrong with him. His blood sugar was crazy, and now I believe he'll be taking insulin with every meal. He had 2 ulcers. He also got 3 stents. And today, after the MRI testing, he has a herniated disc in his neck. That may have come on from the gout.
Can we Frankenstein them back together? Or?
Yeah, I can't. I went this weekend. I went both Saturday and Sunday, and I would only because he looked like an old dish rag just laying there. And at one point, when I came in, he was asleep because he reacts terribly to fucking meds, right? But he needs meds because he's in pain. That he just looked like a dead person laying there with his mouth open. And I'm like this. They just start to put the sheet over his head. And then, because we can't get out of bed, over on his chart, they have a chart they put up there. I fucking erased his name and put Butt King, where his name was. He's like, no, don't, man, because I can't get up. They don't want you to touch. Like, he's like really into their world. Like, he didn't, I tried to bring up the O&A thing to him. He wasn't interested. Yeah. And then he was just like, there's this Puerto Rican nurse. I'm like, I don't want to hear hospital fucking. You know, like people would come in. She's raising 2 kids and she takes a bus and a train to get here. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. But when you get in there, you're just part of the hospital world.
Does he have a TV at least to fucking break it?
He has a TV, but you have to take this little thing and put it up to your ear and listen to it.
It's like he's in a museum.
And
what the fuck?
because of the shape that he's in, he doesn't have any roommates that are under 86. His roommate was telling us about the fucking depression and how hard it was to live through. The guy was like 87 years old.
Is this a hospital or a hospice?
Well, I actually said to him, I'm like, we're real, and I'm fucking totally serious about this. He's got to think assisted living. He cannot do things on his own. His fucking... He didn't have heart trouble when he went in there. He more or less had a heart attack while he was in the hospital because he was so nervous about the test they were giving him. The only thing that was wrong with him was the herniated disc, which he didn't even know that he had. And then they found out his diabetes was fucking shitty. He has ulcers in his stomach. And while they're making him do tests, he just starts having a heart attack. And they put 3 more stents in. He's got 10 stents in his heart now.
Is that a record of some sort?
No, actually, it's only 1/3 of the record. He's got to get another 26 stents.
So Fez went from vibrant radio show co-host to now he's like just like doing a puzzle in a room full of old people in robes.
He doesn't have the energy to do a puzzle.
He doesn't have puzzle energy?
Right. No, he doesn't have that kind of energy.
A lot of intelligent people say that's the end, when you can't do a puzzle anymore.
Yeah, when you just not want to do anything. And here's the other thing about him. Like, so I come in to see him yesterday, and he's like this. Oh, hi, man. Thanks for coming in. And I go, you know you got nothing wrong with your throat. There's no reason. But he so embraces being sick.
Is this how I should sound?
Yeah.
You turn the lights off, it's so bright.
And then this is the other thing that I know that he's not fucking gay. This little twink dude nurse comes in, right? And he's like this. Looks like somebody's a Buccaneers fan. Because, you know, Fez is sitting there with his tats out. All of his bad tats are out already. And he goes like this. No, I lost a bet. And I'm like, how do you not fucking see?
Let's take that opening.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Come on.
Take that kid's rectal temperature with your dick thermometer.
This is why people wince. This is why the women will wince.
And honestly, I will usually, that would be in the first minute of my set.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how he can take care of himself anymore.
Well, he definitely needs like someone to fucking regulate his eating, because that's what fucking put him into this shit.
All right, maybe if someone knows about diabetes. So they're telling him he has diabetes, but then he was eating this chicken, which is fine, but with noodles and carrots, and he had banana bread as dessert. And I'm like, that's all carbs. It turns into sugar. Wouldn't he be getting off of that?
And shouldn't dessert just never be in your fucking diet again?
You would imagine that. If you were diabetic.
Or sugars or diet sodas or any of that fucking stuff.
And he was having diet soda.
Oh, no.
We got to take him on a Trader Joe's run.
He doesn't keep food in his home.
He orders out everything?
Yeah.
Now I just feel shitty.
Now you feel responsible?
Yeah. I mean, I don't keep a ton of food in my house, but just, you know, stuff to make an omelet I think if you have enough stuff to make an omelet, you're living like an adult.
Here's his. This is why he says he can't keep food in his house, or he will eat it all. He views himself as if he was a goldfish.
Well, it's here. Might as well dig in.
I know those Alka-Seltzer will kill me, but
Like he had
right
signed
there.
up for one of those prepared meals things, and
yeah.
by Tuesday he had eaten the 7-day meals.
Oh, they give him the boxes,
Yeah, that you
and he
just
just
heat up.
tears through them.
Yeah.
That'd be a great thing. Some mountain of them and a crazy
He's just,
house full of newspapers.
Yeah, and he's just crying in the middle of it. Why can't I stop?
There's cigarette butts, but he doesn't smoke. He just lets them burn until they become cigarette butts.
Sean, you're on the Run and Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie, I got a dog with diabetes, and it's a shot of insulin in the morning when she eats and a shot of insulin in the evening when she eats. Every day. The 2 shots, Fezzi's going to be getting some of that action, I hope.
Yeah. He's going to
How is
have
he
a
with
shot
needles?
with every meal. But if we believe Shelby, he says he's just in the snack machine. So he doesn't view that as a meal.
He loves these like fucking fruit chew snacks. I'm sure are fucking. It's like Starburst. He's like eating a big bag of Starburst every day after the show. Yeah.
So this is real. He's in the hospital. I'm not sure if we're like,
No.
should I laugh or is this not good? Is he?
You might as well
is he
laugh.
dying?
And
Is he
start
not
crying.
If you don't laugh, you cry.
Yeah, I think it's just funny that if he's got one thing wrong with him, they'll find out the truth about all the other things. And how, I know some people don't like morphine or it makes them fucking queasy, but you got to ride that out. I'd fucking kill myself if I started throwing up my morphine.
He can't handle a Xanax.
But do you think this proves that he's not like just riddled with like bullshit anxiety, that there's really all these things wrong? Or do you think his anxiety fuels these things? It's
The
like,
anxiety causes it. Everything that he's talking about is like anxiety causing.
And then the things happen.
Yeah, I mean, ulcers come from worry. The heart thing comes from fucking worry.
It's just like Terminator 1. I don't know what happened. Did Kyle Reese get here first, or was it? Has that happened? The future had to happen first.
Well, I mean, I don't think he had, and he had the panic attacks a long time before the heart attack. As a matter of fact, the first time he had this major panic attack, I had to go to commercial, and we called an ambulance and sent him away because he looked at me. He says, "I'm having a heart attack," and he fell on the floor. But then, so I go to commercial, call the ambulance, we take him over there, and they go, "No, everything's fine." And he was like very embarrassed. So after that, every time that he thought he was having a heart attack, he wouldn't go. But one time he did have a heart attack. But here's the other weird thing about Fez. None of his heart attacks are like a manly heart attack. They're just like, 3 days ago you had a heart attack. He doesn't have that massive grabbing his chest, falling on the floor like a regular man's heart attack. It's like
he doesn't have an Elizabeth Here I Come.
Yeah, he has the heart attack version of a silent but deadly. He just slips this little heart attack in. So I don't get it. But
he's never had a big pass out heart attack.
No, he's never had the big major kind.
That's good, at least. But he's eating fruit chews.
What was that for, Chris?
We should take a break.
Why don't you say it out loud? Why are you still doing that?
We should break.
Why?
You haven't broken yet.
Because as soon as it gets the conversation gets off you and on the Fez, you can't handle it anymore.
I can handle it.
You want a break?
Heck, she'll probably get diabetes, buddy.
I probably have it already.
Your buddy Kurt Metzger's going to stop in. Have we heard from him yet?
He's signed in. He's downstairs, coming up right now.
Great. He's only 12 minutes late, so he's on time. What if this was TV? We just go, I'm sorry,
fucked.
he was not able to appear tonight.
Well, Christine sends you these guys who don't care about time, I guess.
The only way to do
Maybe
is
she's not
fucking cancel their next guy.
Maybe she's not the darling of comedy you guys thought she was.
It's not so much darling, but the heartbeat.
The heartbeat, sorry. I had it wrong. All right, she is the heartbeit.
I bet there will come a time where you can't even get her on the phone. That's how big her career is going to be.
It's possible. I'm just going to be sitting in the corner waiting for Fez to die, like that guy said. Perched.
I don't know, though. Some people are probably just too ornery to die.
No, I think Fez is going to live forever. I believe he's going to be fine. What? No? Are we on the brink? Should Should I make
think
some
you're
calls?
trying to curse me.
He shall live forever.
This guy that was next to him, they were Jewish, and his daughter was leaving, and his daughter is in his 50s. I know this because they talk so loud. And as she's leaving, I'm going to go get some lunch. It took her 45 minutes to leave because they were just being Jewish with each other back and forth. You sure you don't want an egg salad? Or a tuna? Just a little schmear? Anything at all? And then he's like, no, go have fun. It's not fun for me, Dad. I'm here for you. I just got hungry. And for 40 minutes, they're standing in front of Fez's bed, and every line is making him hurt. He's just fucking... It's like every line was a stab into him. He hates them so much.
No, he doesn't find it funny. He's
No, I'm laughing my ass off. And then the lady's like saying to me, okay, do you fellas want anything when I'm going out? And I goes like this, what do you have? What do they have over there? just making it go on.
Go through the menu
Is
again.
it on rye or can you get it on a roll? They love, Jewish people will take forever to talk about anything.
Just make a decision, for the love of God.
And then the thing is, then the fucking twink goes over to do something with him, right? And the old man had to be naked and in front of his daughter, right? Oh. And she goes, hey, I have a son. It's nothing I haven't seen before. So I go like this. Didn't you have to see one before you even got a fucking son? We had a nice big laugh about it. But who wants to sit there and look at their dad's old dick? I mean, it wasn't even like...
Is she necessary to be in there? Is she fucking helping?
No.
Nothing I haven't seen before, Dad.
Old dick, I love it.
Nothing I haven't grabbed and slapped before.
Then I said, let's slice into it, see how many rings there are, and see how old he is.
You know, I made an onstage joke about counting the annual rings on a guy's dick recently, and no one got it. No one got that trees have rings.
That's sad.
What are they teaching in these schools these days?
Did you know?
Selfies.
Trees have rings?
I didn't know trees had
You
rings.
can chop it.
How, it's fucking basic
What
fucking
was that
earth science.
Now I can't.
What?
And that's why I don't do college shows. I can't relate to people who don't know an annual rings reference to make a dick joke.
Just talk about Project X. No, Kanye West.
McLovin.
That's what all the kids are into
McLovin.
these days.
They all know
But
McLovin.
it's weird that you'd have to cut a fucking tree down just to find out what its birthday is.
It's terrible. Sucks to be a tree.
Did you watch Cosmos last night?
No, I did not.
He was teaching us how to measure the Earth by looking at the Grand Canyon.
Do you like the show?
Yeah, I love it.
I watched the first episode. First episode was terrible. Does it pick up speed at some point? Because it got
Terrible. They fucking explain the multiverse to us. We know that we're not only is this universe so big that we're just one of billions of fucking infinite universes. That somewhere in that multiverse, that it's an infinite amount of them, and somewhere all the molecules got put together so that you and I are speaking now in another universe, but there probably was some slight change so that I'm sitting in your seat asking you how Metzger's doing because he had another heart attack.
That's the first episode?
Yeah.
Was that? I didn't get that from that.
Did you watch the whole thing?
I think I had it on mute.
Okay.
Oh, God.
That first episode freaked me out. I felt like I fucking was Alice in Wonderland.
That time calendar shit fucking weirded me out.
I just hit mute and put on The Wall. Put on Pink Floyd's The Wall. Tried to zone out a little bit.
Are you an atheist?
Yeah, I think so.
You can't even commit to that.
No, I can't. That's I don't. No, I don't know. I think it was hilarious. My that was a pretty funny thing. I forget that my dad, I guess, is like some bit religious, to some degree. And when he was in Cleveland with me on Friday, he was like, "Yeah, so my friends are coming in. We'll go have dinner with them. We have to go to this place, a couple blocks away." I'm like, "Why that place?" Go, "Well, it's the only place around that has like fish. We have to eat fish. God says we have to eat fish today." And that just started making me laugh. And he's like, like I realized that's our disconnect. He's like, "No, we have to eat fish for Lent today. You can't eat meat." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you don't have to do that, right?" But he was like completely committed to it. I thought it was so
We
weird.
used to do it every Friday when I was a kid. We
Fish?
never ate meat. Yeah. It'd either be fish or sometimes pancakes or fucking pizza with no toppings.
Well, we only did it this one Friday, okay? So maybe you have a better family. Did your dad take your coat off layaway?
Well, no,
I
they
bet
don't
he
do it
didn't.
anymore. They got away with that. Now, you're right. It is just Good Friday.
It's just ridiculous to do that. No one even, yeah.
What do you mean it's ridiculous? A man died on a cross, so you can sit here with your emotion.
All right, sorry, I'll eat fish.
And then he rose from the dead.
And give candy to everyone.
And then, from that, he went flying into heaven with his whole body.
That was more like floating instead of flying. And it felt it was like a slower process than just fucking shooting up into heaven like fucking Neo.
So you're saying that he went up like a balloon?
Yeah.
Just fucking spinning around?
Yeah. And
no way. People were running and saying, I still see him?
Yeah.
And they're just running and pointing up in the air?
Yeah, because it's more of a show that way, I think.
I picture he bent down to harness his energy, and then when he exploded up, it was so much that it destroyed the ground below him.
See, I would rather
Dragon
that.
Ball? Isn't that a cooler way? Yeah, like Heroes.
Heroes.
It was so much energy that he destroyed the ground below him.
That probably would happen, though, if you were using physics.
Well, does Cosmos explain that?
No, they didn't. They don't believe in God. Matter of fact, they go out of their way every week to let you know that the Bible's bullshit.
Get out right. It's great.
At some point, the stupid Christians thought, and I'm like, you're just starting shit now. All right, I'm late for my break. I didn't have anybody tell me I'm supposed to break.
We got a break.
We'll be back here. Buddy Kurt Metzger is here. And unlike you, I believe he is going to Austin this weekend.
Yes, he is.
Weekend?
Why
can't you read?
This
Why
weekend.
do I got to do everything with Fez gone?
Okay. Yeah, he'll be at the Blue Moon at the Parish, April 23rd at 9:15, and then Unhinged at the Parish, April 25th. He'll be there all weekend.
Just at the
Moon
Parish,
Tower.
nowhere else.
And Scartacular, stateside, April 26th at 7:30 p.m., and then again at the Parish on April 26th.
All right, we'll be right back. It's Run Fez. Just keeps getting better and better. Kurt Metzger is here with us. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man. How you doing? I'm
We were
sorry.
just talking about your big weekend. You're going to Moon Tower, right?
Yeah, I love that festival. But you're not going, right, Jay? You did South by?
Why would you bring it up like that?
Because I
love it. Too bad my friend's not going to be
There's
there.
a lot of shit that you don't get to do. That's what he's saying right now.
What's it like doing the stuff you do?
Oh, and then you're going to be on David Tell's Coming Underground, too.
Yeah, my set is not as good as Jay's was. I'll tell you that flat out.
Oh, stop it.
It's a fact.
You know what? We're going to sweeten it a little bit. It's going to
Yeah.
sound like you killed.
I requested that. And then Dave called me up when he was editing it, and he goes, all right, listen, the way the shots are, there's a lot of your bald spot. We're trying to fix it.
Is that true?
I swear to God. And I didn't even think about it. And then I was thinking about, like, oh, yeah, thanks, man. Fix that.
On mine, there was so much of this girl in the front row's disgust that they had to, they cut as much as they could, but they would have lost all my jokes if they just didn't show her.
I saw her looking at you like,
It was my favorite thing, though. That made me laugh really hard.
I love that. And then, but then her friend was way into you because
Yeah.
at the end they're like, who do you like the best? And she was like, Big J, hands down.
Then it turns out she says she's just in the fat guys, which taints the win.
Yeah. Why does that have to come up?
Yeah, it's, oh, this guy, but we're related. So.
You mean smart guys. That's what you mean. Smart guys. So you got a lot going on, but you're a little nervous because you didn't feel like you had the set you wanted to have, and that was on TV.
You know what? I did good on it, but I had just taped my hour, and then I had to like scrape whatever's not going to be in the broadcast version of the hour, and I had like 3 new jokes that weren't like completely like polished, let's say. Mm-hmm. So he said the cut came out fine. So
You were still thinking about, I don't know, I'm not sure about this, but...
Well, I delivered them as if they were great with a lot of... But, I mean, what happens is you half-done joke, and then, like, later it's, like, way better. So now I got, like, an unfinished fucking version on TV.
This is what happens when people do those contests. That, you know, their first week out, they're great.
Yeah.
Then the second week, you're like, yeah, I thought that guy was great, but it's a little worse. Then in 4 or 5
Like
weeks.
Last Comic Standing?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I complain about never moving forward in that show, but what the hell would I have done if I did?
Yeah.
I had problems. I even got too dirty for television when I made it to the nighttime round once. Like one of the times I made it to like...
Oh, really?
I didn't have enough clean material to do a minute in the morning and then 3 minutes at night.
Well, that show, I mean, I think I'm not allowed to talk about it until it airs or something, because I just did this season.
This season, yeah.
And I mean, what a shit show, man. It's really like.
So I take it you're not moving on.
No, you never
He
know.
already won. He already won.
Oh, yeah, I might have won the whole thing. I can't reveal. But it's good, like, exposure, man. People really watch that thing, and then, like.
Well, it's prime time stand-up. It's amazing
Yeah.
when you think about it, because, you know, like, even the Tonight Show, they'll put a comic on exactly at the end of the show.
Yeah.
But here, what is it, 9 o'clock at night? And you get to go out and do stand-up, so there could be people accidentally watching you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get a lot of airport recognition and bumfuck places from doing Glasgow comic stand-up. Like, I don't know who watches, like, network TV like that. I got cable. I don't even bother with anything on there.
Yeah, but like you said, those networks reach so many, so even the shows they cancel are bigger than cable shows normally.
Yeah.
Not Game of Thrones. I know, Chris.
Yeah,
You're a big show.
It's the shit.
What happened this week? The fucking dragon?
There were no
turned
dragons.
into a
This week
princess?
stunk, dude. Too much talking, not enough stabby. That's how I felt.
Someone's head got
More
cut off.
stabs!
That's not enough. The one head chopping for like an hour of just blathering.
You don't watch it?
I just said, me and Kurt have actually had this conversation before. I check out on anything on the first word spoken, or like doth thou walketh.
Right.
I'm like, I don't care.
First of all, Jay cannot watch a British accent at all. On it, I
hate it.
He immediately hates something because they sound British.
Yeah.
And so like that. Just
I don't like some person talking to me like Pygmalion. I don't like the whole thing. Kurt tried to get me to watch Snatch years ago. 5 minutes. Didn't
I
care.
don't like Snatch. We watched what we went to go see was that Sherlock Holmes
Hold that,
sequel.
so we'll make them sound gay later.
Yeah.
I don't like Snatch. See? There it is. There's our proof.
Oh, you don't need that much proof. I'll do better things. Yeah, we went to go see the sequel to Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like,
even fake English accents make me angry.
You just don't like English people.
You're a real American patriot, Jay.
No matter, it feels like everything is going to be that has an English accent is going to have the vibe of that Downton Abbey show. It's just like people drinking tea with frilly collars.
Period pieces are hard for me to watch, too.
But anything that has an English accent, I just view as a period piece, even if it takes place right today.
You're an Anglophobe.
Yes.
You're not comfortable. Now, what about a Canadian show? Can you sit and watch that?
How Canadian are we talking? Like SCTV? Don't care.
Don't care for it, or
never cared for it.
Wow.
Can you believe, by the way, a guy that looks this much like a medieval blacksmith hates English accents to this degree?
Or a well-to-do Canadian.
Yeah. you could be in the fucking Senate up there.
He's either a top shelf Canadian.
Killing it. I think don't you just have to wrestle Rob Ford to win?
Chris, you like anything that's magical and fucking...
I've read a bunch of ridiculous fantasy fucking series or whatever, and I read the fucking Game of Thrones books before the TV show came out, so I know what's going to happen.
I just go on the spoilers from the books. Like, I never read the actual books, because I'll spoil everything.
Right. But see, Hicks sits around on his notebooks and writes his troll names that he wants to get out.
It's fun stuff. And Tolkien was a hell of a lot better than anything George R.R. Martin put out. George R.R. Martin's the author of Game of Thrones.
So by talking, do you
Fancy.
mean Tolkien?
Tolkien.
Okay.
Well, can I tell you what got me hooked on Game of Thrones? And by the way, get your recorder ready for this gay proof.
Okay.
When the guy Theon, when he first got captured and then they Wu-tanged his dick off.
Yeah, Theon Greyjoy.
Yeah, I had to, that arc hooked me where I had to know what happens to his dick.
I just want to hear his name again.
Theon Greyjoy.
See, I'm gone for that kind of
He's
shit.
of the Iron Islands.
See.
I don't like. I bet at some point, if Hicks ever comes into a lot of money, he's going to be wearing like metal boots, swinging a sword in his house.
Chainmail. Sure, I'll get some fucking plate armor.
There's in the West Edmonton Mall in Canada. There's a store that's like, I want to take you to like a stepfather and just have you have your jaw drop. You ever go to that store? It's just got all like
No.
wizardry and like crystal balls and swords. And you haven't seen that store in there?
That should help my LARPing.
I'm trying to think if there's any of those movies that I've ever liked. What are your big fantasy movies?
The big fantasy movies, that'd be Lord of the Rings, the first trilogy. I'd say Conan the Barbarian falls into that category.
God.
What's wrong with Conan the Barbarian?
Enough said. It's so homoerotic. There's no way I can have anything to do with it.
Hey, do you notice on those Lord of the Rings, because there's in movies whenever they get a guy to play like a race that he's not, you know, like Johnny Depp was playing that Tonto, and it was like a controversy. Lord of the Rings, those are all midgets, right, or dwarves, and they just get regular size actors and computer them down.
Yeah,
like they put a lot of dwarves out of work.
It's gonna hurt your feelings.
The dwarf
if you're
community.
a dwarf and you're like, oh fuck, a lot of parts coming up, and they're like, no, we're using regular people.
Those movies, the Lord of the Rings movies, were the first movies in a theater ever where I made an active decision to take a nap. Like I actually go, like, I'm going to check out for a little bit.
I'm going to certainly check it. I fell
Let me
asleep
know
watching
when,
it.
let me know when there's fire. Let me know when there's hellfire.
You didn't like none of the Lord of the Rings movies?
Parts. There
I
wasn't
couldn't
one
tell you
wake
what
up.
happened. I watched the first one and I'm like, this is embarrassing.
Oh, I'd wake up. I'd go refill my large soda because I have a Stubbs card.
You telling me you didn't think Ian McClellan was a little bit sexy in that?
Oh, yeah, you know, when I found out what his life was like.
What are the rest of them, Chris? What are other great fantasy things? The Tom Cruise one?
No, it's not Tom. Oh yeah, Legend. Legend is pretty great.
Legend's great, dude.
Yeah.
With Tim Curry as the devil. There's Beastmaster, which was from the 80s.
What was the one that Bowie did with Muppets? Is that
Labyrinth.
Yeah, Labyrinth. Does that count?
That counts. That counts
Okay.
as fantasy. Even maybe a little sci-fi too.
Yeah, I've never been able to.
I did watch
lock in.
Labyrinth. Labyrinth I watched when I was young.
Do you consider Star Wars to be fantasy?
Yeah, that's more fantasy than it is actually science fiction because it's just in a fantasy land with laser swords.
So you're a Star Wars guy?
I like Star Wars, yeah.
You were none of it. Star Trek, none of it?
Star Trek more than Star Wars.
The movies or the show?
Probably the show first, the original show overall, because that's OG.
That's how you
But
roll.
I can't say. I mean, I see a big difference between fantasy. If there's flying fucking dragons and shit, I just get lost on it.
Well, that stuff really I tune out like a lot more now. You know, Game of Thrones is kind of good because they throw all this like adult kind of shit into the fantasy.
Tits.
A lot of tits.
Yeah,
a lot of orgies.
And sex.
Yeah, a lot of fucking just overloaded with
Any
sex.
beaver? Good beaver, right?
There's a ton of great beaver.
Yeah. But there's also a lot of dick in it too.
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
Has there ever been like a genre like you'll get burnt out on though? Because I feel like if I never see another World War II film, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, we've
I
covered
never want
that.
to see another Holocaust again. I get it. It's awful.
I think I watched fucking Elysium, that Matt Damon science fiction movie. I'm getting almost there. And Prometheus, the fucking last alien movie. It's like this.
I
there's
like
nothing else.
Prometheus, dude, a lot.
Oh,
That was
it's
pretty
terrible.
great.
It was fucking a giant piece of shit.
Really?
Yeah, what
You like Prometheus, right, Jay? No?
I didn't understand it that much.
Exactly.
Simple guy.
Which one was that?
Prometheus
Explain
was
to people.
the last in the Aliens movies. Ridley Scott, the last one Ridley Scott did.
I've never been a fan of any of the Alien movies.
Oh, do you know what I tried to watch? They made it out like it was so great, and it would bring you back to being a kid. Fucking Pacific Rim with the giant robots versus
Yeah,
the stupid.
I couldn't even turn that
Why
on.
do they make a big budget, like huge CGI movie with the cast of Sons of Anarchy? That's the weirdest decision to make.
Is that who was the
It's
cast?
like almost like three of the main Sons of Anarchy guys are the cast of that movie.
Like this new Godzilla, to me, I got no fucking interest in.
Really?
Yeah.
The trailers
Nothing.
aren't catching you at all?
No, it looks like Pacific Rim to me.
I love bringing high drama to a giant lizard tearing apart Tokyo.
No, it's going to be New York.
Oh, isn't it always now?
Yeah.
You got to.
New York is the new
You don't.
Tokyo.
Everyone loves Breaking Bad. No one trusts that guy to be in a good movie.
No, I think he took a payday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think the
So,
same.
Brando did the first fucking Superman for money.
He cries in this movie. I see him crying in the trailer. That's not just taking a payday. You got to draw him some emotions on that.
Yeah, but he's probably crying like, look, I fucking stabbed everyone in the back that cared about my career.
This is my follow-up. People are going to be so sad.
I don't know. I can't hold it against someone when they're like, you know what? I'm going to take my retirement movie and do this fucking thing.
You say there's no shot of that being good, or you just check it on that kind of a movie?
I just, there's been so many of those that I get it. A fucking giant thing is coming in. Everyone's running from it.
What about what's his name? Citizen Kane. I'm blanking on the actor.
Orson Welles?
Orson Welles in his greatest final role in Transformers the movie as the Transformers planet. Do you remember that? That was Orson Welles' last role.
He did voiceover work in the Transformers anime movie as a giant fucking.
I had no
bully.
idea.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
He
I had
that
no
and
idea that.
Fish stick commercial were his two final things.
How are you guys on Vietnam movies? You watch a Vietnam movie?
I like Full Metal Jacket more than anything.
else?
I think. Yeah, I don't know. Is there a better one?
Yeah, I
than
think
that?
I like Nam movies more than it's a good. I don't know if you call it a Vietnam movie, but I love Dead Presidents. You ever see that? Mm-hmm. That was a great
The
flick.
beginning of it was a Vietnam movie, and then they come back and they use the skills that they learned fighting Charlie to rob banks.
In the awesomest way.
Hicks, what's the best Vietnam movie?
Platoon. Platoon's the best Vietnam
Better
film.
than Full Metal?
Now?
Yeah. Over Apocalypse Now.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not into Oliver Stone like that. He has a couple I like, but I'm not like.
I'm all about Oliver Stone.
I tried to watch JFK. JFK is one of the worst fucking movies I've ever seen. Like it's just.
Why, you don't think there was harsh white lighting in the courtroom? Well, Kirk, you know what then? I don't know how to talk to you.
Quick cuts.
I can't watch movies that were in those double VHS tape things. Like JFK was in the double VHS tape thing.
Yeah.
Like Titanic. I can't. If any movie I saw on that, I can't watch it.
Well, maybe Blu-ray, man. They have a new.
No, but if it's
you only buy one.
If I saw it in that double case, I'm done. I'm not fucking watching that.
Why, it's too long for you?
And my mom took me to see Titanic 5 times when I was a kid, so now whenever I see those double VHS tapes, I think about Titanic. And I'm
5 times?
Why did she do that?
Because she was a single mom, so if she wanted to see a movie, she had to take me to see the movie, and she really was fucking into Titanic.
What?
Oh my
Not so
god.
much about it. Did you have to see this over and over?
I don't know, but I remember I didn't know Titanic was a real thing, and that really got me at the end of the movie as a kid.
Having a single mom and will make you do they'll influence you in some bad ways. I tell you, you remember I told you the story. My mom used to watch Roadhouse every day, and then I thought it was so cool that I went to school one day, fat kid, jeans, and tucked into my jeans, karate gi, and no man was there to tell me that was not a great idea. Karate gi. Every time I move, the gi starts coming untucked, and then my fat little titties start flying. It was the worst thing ever.
You look like Beverly Hills Ninja your entire middle school.
Was this before or after your dad got that raincoat out of...
It was a winter coat, and he will call in if you say that wrong.
Did you tell him about your hammer pants?
Oh yeah, I bought him. Yeah, no one. I was all women's influence. My grandmother would take me clothes shopping for school, and I can convince her that anything was the style. So I got a gold MC Hammer pants,
like original replicas, not
the real,
not
like
some knockoffs.
The crotch was down. No, they were knockoffs actually. They were called Bobby Brown pants, just to not have to put the MC Hammer logo on them.
Did you used to fucking Hammer Time dance when you were a kid?
I would have loved to do the Hammer Time dance, but my mom and Step Pop were like, as I said, this is where the Step Pop came in handy. I put them on, they were like, show us your school clothes, and I couldn't wait to put these gold pants on. And I came out, and they started laughing really hard, and I got really sad. And then my mom goes, "What's the bunched up shit in the middle there?" And then when I opened my legs, and she saw that the crotch was down by the ankles, they they were like elbowing each other, like really Def Jam
I probably
laughing.
thought that you were dressed like a genie.
They never left my.
They were Def Jam laughing. They were fucking stealing that.
Oh yeah. They were. Yeah.
Oh my God, your pants!
Yeah. Look at your pants!
That is so fucking funny.
When we moved when I was 17, I was like 13. When we moved when I was 17, they were in the bottom of a drawer. I never wore them. Thank God. Because I would have worn them to school. Because I saw some other, like, tiny, not fat kid wear hammer pants and a sweater. And I'm like, there it is. That's the look. That's the look of the year.
Look, there it is.
Pleated jeans. That was a thing that I couldn't. I was always too fat for exactly what the style was. When I wore, like, everyone wore overalls because it was like hip hop looking, and I looked like an actual farmer. Like, even the black kids would come over and hook my other, because it was only the one strap would be up. They'd go hook the other one on. Like, no, you should be.
Let me help you.
Something.
They just want to be helpful.
Like the groundskeeper of the school.
You had pleated jeans like fucking Marty McFly's girlfriend from Back to the Future.
Yeah, that's right. I dressed like that. My mom brought me to see Dirty Dancing, and I wanted to wear no shirt and pleated jeans.
So many of you guys had dates with your moms. I think is really fucking sweet.
I had a father growing up.
My dad.
Hey guys,
We
my
went
dad.
hunting.
We like to throw the ball around a little bit.
Although, you know what? My mom called me up when Precious came out because she wanted me to go with her to see Precious. She goes, well, this movie, this little black girl's a real hard time.
That should be the tagline of the movie.
Well, because she's
Watch a black girl having a hard time.
She's fascinated with, like, she would never look at anything like pornographic, right? But like any kind of thing, you know, there's a lot of old people where they like Law and Order and stuff like that, like the titillation of some kind of like sex crime thing.
Right.
Like I know she's very interested. Like your voice is, what? She was raped? Oh my god!
Is there a part 2?
Was it anal?
Something was there ass play?
Was there cuckold? Were they doing some cuckold? Were they into cock and ball torture?
I wish you would have kept those fucking hammer pants.
Me too. There's so many things I wish I would have kept.
Your next special, you just come out wearing it.
I mean, I went to school one day. I remember this wearing. It was like a wide bottom, wide necked, bum equipment, purple sweatshirt with the overalls. I looked like I should be dancing like on bumper commercials of In Living Color. I was just like a fly girl. I was just missing putting yellow socks over the legs of the pants.
All right, someone set up on the iBang. There's Jay as a kid, his pants on the 420 Wake and Bake on the iBang. You're about to switch out with fucking Shelby. I see it coming. You can't find it?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Is it on the front page?
It's 420 in the title. I don't understand why that's so
It's in the
fucking
comment
hard for you.
section. Search 420. So it says for 420 Wake and Bake. That's what you got. Go down to the comment section.
Don't even bother. Fuck it. Just get up and switch out with Shelby. There you go. Go back and forth. Here's what you got to do. You got to ride that horse, and when it gets tired, you got to go to the other fresh horse.
I got invested in the search, though.
Yeah, me too.
Forgot there's people listening.
Yeah,
Like, man,
they're not going to care
where
as
is
much.
this thing?
They're not going to care as much. All right, why don't you do some plugs here? There's a lot of these guys are doing all kinds of shit.
The Big J's Crowdwork show is happening tomorrow night at 9:30 at the Village Underground with comics scheduled to appear: Keith Robinson, Bonnie McFarlane, Luis Gomez, Dave Attell, and Dan Soder.
I can't believe how good that show is.
And Kurt Metzger will be appearing on Dave Attell's Comedy Underground this Saturday at 1 a.m. alongside Nikki Glazer and Mike Vecchione. And Kurt will be at the Moon Tower Festival in Austin this week, at the Parish April 23rd, 25th, and 26th, and at New York Bar April 24th, and Stateside April 26th.
You guys got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, my hour's coming out in June, I believe. This tentative date, I think, is June 20th. It's called White Precious. It'll be on Comedy Central.
White Precious.
Yeah.
That's great, man.
Well, hopefully it comes out on that day, and I'm not just throwing that
You'll
out.
be back before that.
It'll be out at some point. It was hilarious. I went to that. Great.
You had the
Fantastic.
time of your life there?
Yeah, I had the time of my life.
Were you Def Jam laughing?
I was Def Jam laughing at Kurt's special, without a doubt.
Did
It
you
was
yell
great.
out, "Oh shit, son," at some point? Oh shit, son!
And then I just repeat his lines, but I start by saying "he said" 4 times. He said, he said, he said, he said. Oh hell no!
All right, I want to go back to our genre movie thing.
Yeah.
Because now this is, I'm into some people not being into other movies that everybody else likes. Give me your best sports movie all time. Best sports movie.
All time.
Yeah, Shelby, you're going to go first, so in case I got to send you back, I can do it fast.
It's a shitty selection. Get out of here.
Space Jam. No, I'd say Rudy.
That's enough almost to send you back for. How's that even a sports movie?
He plays sports during the whole thing. It's
No, he plays
inspirational.
sport at the last possible second. They put him in like they would an autistic kid and let him get a fucking tackle.
And it was all a lie, too.
Yeah.
It's being sold like it was fucking real.
Here's what kills me. I think fucking Joe Montana was on that team. And yet we're paying attention to Rudy instead of the guy who goes on to change football forever. What about for you?
Natural.
Really? That takes us into the fantasy world again.
That wasn't real? That didn't really happen? No, you're natural.
You
Fonz.
knock the cover off the ball, you explode the cop,
Yeah.
the clock.
You fucking eat a bullet and fucking live through it to still play?
I like Any Given Sunday.
Any Given Sunday.
Yeah. And I'm
You're
not
back
I'm
to
not into
Oliver
sports
Stone.
even.
Back to Oliver Stone.
He has some movies that I think are great, and then some I'm like, whatever. But Any Given Sunday is pretty good.
I always get thrown off by when they use fake names for teams. It takes me out. The Sharks are playing
That bothers
the
me too.
Jellyfish.
The Miami Sharks versus the New York Knights. That was a fucking playoff game. I think it was the Eastern Conference.
The River Cats on a real team?
No one went to see the Draft movie, the Kevin Costner.
Draft Day? I can't. I want to see it, but I don't feel like paying money for it. I want to wait for a bootleg to come out.
Wait till it gets on TBS. Watch it then.
It's gonna be really exciting.
When is the actual Draft Day?
That is in 2 weeks. First weekend in May. It's very exciting. Is Clowney going first?
Jay, what do you like?
Sports movie?
Yeah.
Rocky V.
No. Does that count?
No, it shouldn't count. I think the program, maybe.
Really?
I love the program.
Oh, that's a good movie, yeah.
You would pick the program over Invincible?
I would. It's fine. I know answers that I could have given that would have made you respect me more than the program. If I was like Brian's song.
I think the only movie it's okay to cry at.
Yeah, my mom. That's another one. My mom. That's why I'm sensitive to movies. My mom would make me watch tearjerkers a lot. Brian's song, the final episode of MASH. She used to lose her shit at.
She would watch that episode. You right over there? You wiping your ass? What's going on?
Stuck in my shirt.
Why?
No, it's like bunched up in the back.
Well, what are you wearing a parachute? You just kept going and going and going. Can you imagine being so thin that you have that much shirt to get that in?
The shirt was a cape. It's a lot involved.
He's really a superhero, and we didn't know it.
Were you the one? Was I talking to you about that in Rocky? The best part was like he had spent all his money on the first artificial intelligence robot butler. You know
Oh yeah, Rocky 3.
Like the robot developed human emotions and fell in love with Paulie, and they didn't really cover it at all.
Then he had to learn how to fight from a black dude again. And his wife died.
You're from Philly. I'm sure you want to go see Rocky on Broadway.
I sort of do want to see it. And what's funny is I've heard. It's funny when anyone comes and goes like, "Oh, it was so stupid, it sucked." I'm like, "Of course." And then when someone goes, "I really thought it was great," I go, "Yeah." Like hopeful. I'm like, "Is it? Now I want to see it."
They keep asking me to come over and see it because they're trying to get more guys and they want us to talk about it. But I didn't even know this. They sell in the lobby Scrapple, so you can go out and get some Scrapple, sit down and watch it. I mean, they're really
authentic
to me. Yeah. I guess since Jersey Boys one day, they're really trying to get, just buses from Philly up here.
A drunk guy hits on your wife and then takes a wild swing at you.
I've never learned what's in Scrapple. What is it?
Don't learn.
It's a hodgepodge.
Find out.
It's a fun
hodgepodge. Just a nice gray meat. Just leave it. This is another great gray meat. Hey, Benjamin, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, Slapshot, the best sports movie ever.
Slapshot's funny as hell.
Yeah.
And still hanging around. What are we, almost 4 decades in?
Was that the Paul Newman one?
Yeah, it's the Paul Newman one. That was somewhere in Central PA. I like to go back to that metaphor every time we can. I think there's more boxing movies than any other sport.
Teen Wolf 2?
Teen Wolf 2.
TOO.
What was that boxing movie with James Woods where he was like a boxing hustler?
Oh, that was Digstown.
Yeah, I like that movie a lot.
Well, here's the weird thing. I fucking did a Digstown challenge when I was at WNEW with one of my producers. Would fight any 10 listeners. So we go out, we sell out this fucking club. And I had it down at minute rounds, right? And everything was going good. He was just holding on. And about the 5th guy fucking hit him so hard that he was just out like a light. And the place is going crazy. And I'm such an awful carny. I go like this, ring the bell. And they ring the bell and I go, "Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, saved by the bell." And the place is going and they're throwing shit. And I go, "Let's check over with the judges." And I'm just pointing into the darkness. The judges are telling me, "No, he's got 5 more fights to go." I'm like literally trying to wake him up, pushing the doctor away. Because I'm like, I got nothing else. So he's got to fight 5 more fights.
He did go through 4 guys before the 5th guy knocked him out?
Yeah.
I don't think I would get through 4.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, have you ever put gloves on like that? If you're not in shape, it's not easy to knock guys out.
Me and Mike Vecchione, speaking of Vecchione, filmed a thing one time where we had to go box.
Yeah.
And man, we put those gloves on. It's like this would go forever.
Dude,
or I'll get knocked out.
Yeah.
Like if someone knows what they're doing at all, because like it's not the same as throwing like your empty hand.
Just getting in a stance. I had a personal trainer. I remember one time doing minor boxing, just getting in the stance and jabbing.
Right, fancy.
And I was worn, dude. All you'd have to do to fight me is wait for me to try to get in a boxing stance, then collapse wheezing, and you win.
Kurt's hilarious to get to play sports. We would go one time. He didn't grow up playing them really, so I would take him with us to play basketball sometimes, and Kurt was great because he's tall and has like, the natural ability to get rebounds, but then black guys always see the nerves in that situation, and then guys who aren't on his team will just go like, Kurt, and then pass them the
played
ball.
at some community center in South. I don't know who the hell's on my team. It wasn't out of racism. I just wasn't sure.
We knew we had a black guy. Whatever black guy calls your name, you're going to instinctually throw him the ball. He just wanted it out of his hands so fast. And everyone just starts yelling. Like, it's like everyone starts yelling Kurt. Like all 9 other players. Kurt.
Keep in mind, I couldn't give less of a shit about basketball. I just want to hang out with my friend Jay.
I just think it's so funny that the guy you pass it to drives on you seconds later. Why?
What was great was
we're winning, guys. We scored.
Kurt still smoked cigarettes at the time, and you weren't even necessarily like, you didn't look like you were in any kind of bad shape, but it was great. It was the game was to 15. It was 14-13, and Kurt just walks off the court.
You're mixing up 2 different games. You're mixing up 2 different things. The one where I passed the wrong guy, that was years ago.
I'm saying it's not the same game.
We played full court later. There's this place we used to play full court at, and by the way, and the night before I had been out like doing blow and like
that don't make you a bad person.
I was in no shape for a nice full court basketball game.
Oh no, yeah. I said you didn't look like you were in bad shape. You just were in bad shape.
My insides.
And 14-13. Well, he goes he, and I go, Kurt, come on, man. It's only a game point. He goes, I can't.
Yeah.
Just shut it down.
It just was over. Yeah, we played 4-on-5 the last 2 points. Like
I threw Rondell Hartley. I remember I whipped my jersey at him. Like, he
took over.
By the way, one of my neighbors in Washington Heights, like, I'm living at Dominican Park, there's some guy on my block just recognized me from how bad I was. He worked at that school and recognized me from
how bad you were at basketball?
From how bad I was at basketball years later.
It's great to be known for anything, really. You know what I mean? You're staying in his head. There'll be people watching your special. That's the guy who walked off the fucking court.
Yeah, I walked away from the game that day.
I've had someone fawn over me and make a real big deal in an airport about me, and then called their friend over and said, "Look, the amazing Jonathan." they thought that was the most painful thing I've ever. Because I'm doing a lot of smiling and
right.
Did you
crack them or you just let it go?
I walked away weird.
Yeah.
I've had being recognized for the worst thing. I went to a carnival. I was in Germany performing for the troops, and we were on this base, and they had a carnival set
German
up.
troops?
Yeah, Hey, they need entertainment too, right?
Guys, it was just Hitler's birthday yesterday.
I went out there. It was definitely a black show. We were doing shows. It was like they bring out the black circuit comedians and me to do this show. So this carnival, whatever this base was, it was very dominated by like black dudes and ladies, and the rides were kind of like it was like a free for all. Like when the rides stopped, people would get off, and everyone would just try to jump on. There was no lines, there was no organization to it. So, being one of the few white people there, I was very slow getting on the ride. So I really wanted to get a jump on it. And there's some kind of like a tilt-a-whirl machine where the ground went in a circle and the carts spin. And a buzzer kind of buzzes when the ride's over, and everyone kind of like, runs to get into a cart that someone's getting out of. But I got so nervous because I was getting on it with a girl who was heavier than me, believe it or not. And I was like, so I'm the speed here. I got to go get this cart. And when that buzzer buzzes, it means the ride's slowing down to come to a stop. But I got so jumped up that I ran onto this platform, and the first foot landed, the second foot never made it to the ground, and I went ass over head on that kind of like that like wrestling stairs metal, like that kind of that thing. So like, it makes a really loud noise. And I got up and got on the ride and was embarrassed. And then we did the comedy show. It went pretty good. And then hours later, walking around, someone goes, "Are you the guy from?" And I go, I cut him off. I go, yeah. And they go, you are, right? I go, yeah. And he calls people over. He goes, look, this is the dumb asshole that fell on the thing over the ride. I was like, sure.
It's got to add extra
Oh, yeah. He goes, this is the asshole that fell. I told you. And they were like, and there's nowhere to go. I had to go sleep in the barracks that night. With no TV, a lot of time to think about what happened.
You know who you in a Quonset hut. Why?
I get mistaken by cab drivers, Indian cab drivers, for Russell Peters a lot.
Oh, that's
like
so
an
funny.
easy Russell Peters.
You
So
can probably get free rides out of that, though. They love him.
I get in the car and he goes, "Are you Russell Peters?" And then I'm such a fucking attention whore. Like I go, "No, but I am a comic man. I actually know Russell." The guy's already checked out when he knows I'm not Russell Peters.
Got a couple of cool things happen to myself, though, and and when you get there's no conversation before you get out of the cab, you hand him a piece of paper like, "Here's my next 5 or 6 dates."
I opened for Russell, and a couple people came up to me later and said they thought I had a better set.
That is the greatest feature acts feeling when you're going out with people in comic shows and they say how much better you, and you go, no. And that's the worst thing. But then the worst thing is like when I'll bring guys open for me, and someone comes and goes, "That guy said he thought I was the best one on the show," and like they just say that because and it's like you're making all excuse like, "Well, you only got to do like 20 minutes." You know? So I got to carry it for an hour.
What's better than featuring, man?
Nothing.
No pressure on you.
Oh, nothing.
You get that, and you were good too. You were good too.
You could still sell your merch
during his set. Anyone goes out to get a piss, you're right there. Hey,
Russell Peters has a bunch of merch. I followed him at that Ohio gig. He's a bunch. I can't do it. I cannot sit there with T-shirts with my
but he's
face
got
on
people to drive trucks for him.
Yes,
you know,
it's true.
It's not like you have to lug it around yourself.
Selling my CD out of a book bag, holding it, and people just want to take a picture.
Oh, I worked with some guy in, I can't remember which shithole part of Pennsylvania. It really wasn't
Philly.
bad. No, sadly, I think that's one of the higher ends of Pennsylvania to visit. But he was selling Shave the Peen and Buff the Muff bumper stickers.
Oh, God.
The bumper sticker.
They were like $15 a piece. And by the way, he ate it. You know, he said they lined up to buy these fucking bumper stickers.
Because it was so funny.
Oh.
The bumper sticker was so great.
There's something really, this happens to me a lot, because I assume, like, when you're talking to someone, that for some reason I always, like, kind of put my beliefs onto them. So it's great talking to comics, and I'm like, oh, man, I don't get it with merch, man. Just sitting there hawking a bunch of bullshit and some fucking shitty T-shirt with, like, your fucking joke on it. And then they'll be like, yeah, he goes, I mean, when I go on the road, like, you know, I'll take a shirt. So they tell me they take a shirt. So I go, no, yeah, that's cool. I mean, you know, you gotta make ends meet. You gotta, you know, pay the bills, I guess. But it's just, I'm just saying, me personally, for whatever reason, I can't. But it's cool. It's fine.
People clean up with that shit. I always feel like I'm a moron for not having something to sell.
But here's the thing: you're wearing a Johnny Ramone shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. But there's definitely you can't. There's not even a good argument for the coolness of music being much greater than comedy. That you'd want to wear it on a shirt. Plus, comedy's always like a one-man game, so it's just wearing like a dude. I think it's just ridiculous if you got like a CM Punk shirt with just a picture of CM Punk on it. I think is equally ridiculous.
I'm sure Vito has a CM Punk shirt.
I bet he does.
A closet full of them.
You gotta say it into the microphone. Not nod. We're on the fucking radio. When it's just me and you having lunch, you can do that. Because I had to have lunch with him the other day, and he's just sitting there the whole time. So what was your favorite Unmasked? Who was your least favorite? Where do you think I should be working on right now? And I'm like, I felt like Weekend Dad. I really did.
New dad.
Did you feel like you got a lot of good advice from me?
Yeah, I thought so. I need somebody to pretend to be my dad.
And then you didn't even attempt to go to your wallet when it was time to pay. Jesus. He just looks at me like this, like, hey, dude.
I'd love to pick your brain one day at lunch. And
timing? Is that timing important?
Yeah, I love like new because it's weird because I actually love to just blather about shit.
Right.
But there's something about like a new comic's dumb questions. Or do you ever get like kids doing a college paper on comedy that want to interview you for their fucking?
Oh yeah.
And it's like, which by the way, it's like your parents are paying money for you to take a class where you ask me about fucking stand up. That's your education. And then the questions are the shittiest. Like, how did you get into it?
It's always like, when do you get an agent? Everyone always wants to know, when can someone else do the work for me?
I did a college upstate New York where the guy who runs it, he's retired now actually, but the guy who runs the show goes, I'm going to have this guy open for you tonight at the show. He goes, you got to see this guy. He really is, he's really something else. And then I go watch him. and he's just going like he's just talking to the audience. I think that's why I said I would like him, because he does a lot of audience stuff. But it's so specific. He goes, "Look at you, Reggie, with your big ass head, big old head, motherfucker, 7 foot tall, can't dunk, bitch." And then just like fucking, and then it's like, "All right, y'all, so we're gonna get this thing moving. We got a real comedian here, yo." Doesn't they always give your name first, then your credits? We got a real comedian, Jay Oakerson, coming up here. He's been on some shit, dude. Actually, I'll say this. I hope it doesn't come off too mean, but my host in Cleveland, he goes, "What do you want me to say about you?" I go, whatever. I go, "Actually, if you want, you could say I did a Comedy Underground on Comedy Central, and FX's Louie." Now, if you're a comedian, but both of those credits should make sense to you at least. Right. I never corrected him once. Every show he brought me up, he goes, "All right, you guys ready for your..." First of all, he didn't say your headliner. He goes, "You ready for your next comedian?" Which I thought was funny. He goes, "You ready for your next comedian?" He goes, "This next guy's been on Comedy Underground and Comedy Central and FX Louie." Every show. I'm like, what?
That's a hit program.
FX Louie.
And FX Louie.
It's Fix Louie. Someone fix Louie.
I like the college guy bringing you on stage, because they always do the same thing. They say your name first.
Yeah, like you said, then they give all your credits.
Yeah, this is great. This is Jay Oakerson.
You've seen him on.
So here he is.
Yeah, so that's that.
Here's Daniel in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I used to work with a headliner named Johnny Penny, and he made me bring him up as the Cookie Man. And he would do, his closer was he would pull a note, like a piece of notebook paper out of his pocket, and he would say, "When I was out in the lobby earlier, I jotted down a few reasons why cookies are better than sex." And he would, list them all off or whatever. And after the show, he would sell a T-shirt with that list on it.
So I guess he had time to have that printed during the show. What was his name?
Johnny Penny. Johnny the Cookie Man Penny.
So he's actually, the bit was so ingrained that it was his nickname.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gallagher didn't even call himself Gallagher the Sledgehammer.
Fruit Smash, Gallagher Fruit Smash.
Surprised he didn't sell cookies, like
that would have been
disappointment. Smart. Bringing up all these cookies and you just get a shirt about cookies.
Oh man!
Like before his shows, cookie.
I work with a guy in Kansas City named Squishy Man. Remember I told you about about Squishy Man?
Yeah.
So his whole act is he's not fat, he's squishy. I don't know if that sounds familiar to anybody.
Yeah. Metzger's here is going to be at the Moon Tower, 23rd at the Parish. And you're doing Unhinged there as well. What exactly is the Unhinged show?
I don't even have a fucking clue. The names of every comedy show are the worst.
And you don't know why you're in that one show? Because some of these are like guys with glasses.
Yeah, they're always like some dumb name. But I think Blue Moon, the first one, is a dirty show, is what I'm guessing. But, yeah.
And then you got David Tell's Comedy Underground. And that's going to be very, very cool.
Yeah, watch out for that bald spot that they weren't able to get a handle on.
That's got you a little nervous, doesn't it? You're just sitting there the whole time.
I did some sketch on Amy's show where the light was right directly on my fucking head. And I never even used to think about it that much. So I started seeing myself, and I'm like, God damn, I really need a yarmulke or something. I have a perfect yarmulke spot.
Convert. It's time. Big J's doing his crowd work show. What's your fucking deal? This Tuesday at the Village Underground. Great comics with you. Keith Robinson is going to be there. Bonnie McFarlane, Luis Gomez, David Tell, Dan Soder. That's an all-star team.
Metzger's a veteran of the show. He's done it a couple times for me.
I love that show, dude. That's a great fucking show.
He had the first time in Montreal. Kurt was in the first one. Closed out the first one.
Well, people would go on it and they wouldn't do crowd work. They would wait, what is this show again? I don't get it. And
that's the best move, is when you're not sure you can do it. You just keep saying you're confused about what it even is. It's like, crowd the work. We said it 73 times. Wait, I don't know. So wait, just do my B material?
So you guys are a crowd and I'm working.
He goes, so you want me to talk to them? About them or to them? I don't know how
See, I wanted you to be more strict that you can't even do a stock line. You can't do anything. You've just got to be up there in the moment.
That's what I'd prefer. But also, I'd rather... See, the thing with that set list show we were talking about earlier is there's... The crowd has to be into that show. I've done that show before in front of a crowd that thought they were just coming to see a comedy show, and you kind of spring that on them. And you got to be willing to work with the crowd because there's down moments of a show like that. I'd rather there be not many down moments in this show. So if you need to transition with something stock or some kind of, like kind of thing throwaway line you said before, I don't mind that as long as it keeps moving. But like if it's like it's the. It's one of those things that's almost like an inside thing. Like, everyone will know. The other comics will know if you didn't do any crowd work. And they'll be like, nice job, jerk off.
Oh, they're going to have to take 2 points off for that one. It's very, very difficult.
Jeez, whose line is it anyway?
He just referred to that guy as Skippy, and here's... let's go over to Philip, Oklahoma. How you doing, Philip?
Doing all right.
Good, buddy.
Got a greatest sports movie for you. What do you think about the movie 42?
42, Jackie Robinson.
Oh, I just saw that. You know what I don't like about it? They added in the one guy that's like yelling racist shit to him. That guy didn't do that in real life, so they're basically just smearing him. Like whoever the extra mean redhead ball player was, right. The guy wasn't
Philly's
even
like
manager.
That. Yeah, and then they did this scene where he's all upset. He storms downstairs in the dugout and he's hitting the walls. And Jackie Robinson never did that. The guy was a rock. Like he just it was awesome and took all that shit. And they got to like pussy him up because no one can envision a man.
Well, that always gets to me about movies, that they have no problem fucking with the truth. Rudy is a perfect example where they acted like everybody on the team was ready to quit for the coach, and they went back to the coach, and the coach goes, it was my idea. No one on the team gave a fuck one way or another. You know what I mean? I was trying to fucking do something nice for the kid. This is the movie they make. He basically put the retard in. But there's somebody from Pain and Gain, one of the victims, there was this, The Rock, one of the victims is fucking suing because they turned this thing, which was like murders, apparently into some kind of a comedy, like a black comedy. And he's like, I don't know about you guys, this doesn't seem that fucking funny.
Didn't Invincible, like, the end of the movie is like a really over dramatized version of that play?
Yeah, that fucker.
But then, like, as soon as they start the credits, they show you the actual real play. It's just kind of shitty, and isn't it?
Yeah, it's like he falls on the ball or something. In the movie, he runs for a TD.
Yeah.
Oh,
Vince Papali's story.
What's the baseball movie with Jonah Hill and Brad Pitt?
That's Moneyball.
Yeah, I think Moneyball is a pretty good movie. And I go to look up the real people from the thing. So Brad Pitt's based on the real guy, and then Jonah Hill is just basically Jonah Hill just plays the Jews.
Right, all the Jews that were helpful. They were kind of fat though, so it all works out.
Isn't that in the movie? The Doors, isn't that why they were so upset? Like, every girl that ever fucked Jim Morrison was mad because they made that one witch girl like a culmination of 75 pussies.
Yeah.
It's kind of Franken-snatch of like all these bras, but the Wiccan girl got the most love.
All right, look at this. They said the biggest crowds they've ever had out for the Boston Marathon today. And then they had 3,500 cops there. Everything worked out good. And there's Donnie Wahlberg.
Under his name, it just said actor and singer.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Donnie Wahlberg. Wait.
Singer, though?
Yeah, wasn't he from...
Did he sing? I thought he was the rap guy.
No, that's his brother.
It's Marky Mark.
He's a new kid on the block.
No, I know, but I mean, I thought he was kind of the guy. He would do like the rap part. He didn't really sang too much, did he?
Know.
Didn't he do harmonies at least?
Oh, they had great moves, though.
Were they the right stuff?
Yeah.
Did you see that? What's that poker movie where they go? They go to Vegas and they have the system to beat Vegas. And
oh yeah, it's
21.
Yeah, they're all card
21.
counters. Yeah.
Yeah. So the real story of that, first of all, they're all Asian. There was not a white face in that whole group. They're all Asian, and I'm surprised that people are more up in arms. And then also the part where they're in deep shit and what, like, basically the casinos are like, yeah, you guys, you can't come back here anymore. That was it. That was all the.
Tell me all the Asians you're going to hire for that. You get the Harold and Kumar guy. Then what? Then who? Who's going to play the other Asian people? You going to bring the Sweet 16 Candles kid back?
I can't believe how racist that was.
Long duck.
Cancel Jay.
Long duck dong.
Hashtag cancel Jay Oakerson.
Hashtag Data from the Goonies. He's too old. He's aged out of that gig.
Ken Jeong can take a dramatic turn.
There's a weird thing that you said the other day, Shelby, and everyone turned on you, that he said he could not have sex with an Asian woman. And I'm like, that's the most insane thing I've ever heard.
Well, you might as well blow Fez then.
Well, what about an
Because
Asian
that
man?
It's just insanity.
Wait, you can't. Why?
Because you're built like them?
Which one am I?
Too much friction.
They just like way down on my list. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like the actual like Asian. I don't
Your
like
list
the
of
submissive.
racist sex?
I don't. I don't know the whole submissive. Ooh, I want to dote over you and take care of you. Doesn't really interest me.
You don't think perhaps it might not all be something out of a fucking anime?
Yeah. You don't have to fucking geisha.
Fucking bound feet.
I don't like how they cover their mouth and giggle all the time.
I don't like fucking with no shoes in the dojo.
I don't know. I mean, I guess, you know, they have that old thing, your dick is racist. I mean, I guess it's mine.
What's that? What old thing?
What the hell is that? You're saying the thing John Mayer said? That's not an old saying. That was just John
You're saying John Mayer's a hack? Is that where we're going with this?
More ways than one. But, yeah, I mean, I guess not just sexually. I'm not interested in Asians. Sorry.
So weird.
Did we? By the way,
I'd rather.
Did we interrupt you when you were eating marbles? I don't know why you're talking like that.
I'm actually I'm more interested in that. Rather than an Asian, I'd go with that
black
girl from 12 Years a Slave.
You mean
what?
That girl from 12 Years a Slave.
Really?
Yeah, I'd rather bang her than
What's
Asian.
her name?
Wow.
Lupita Luongo.
Would you make her play slave while you were doing it, or would you be like a fucking straight up guy?
Well, maybe like a house slave. I wouldn't go as far as the.
Well, I don't see what the controversy is here about it. People are upset by this?
No, he picks out a beautiful woman. This is going to shock you guys, but that gorgeous woman, I would. I'd have sex with her.
Oscar actress?
Yeah.
I wouldn't go out of line here, but.
What's her name? Carrie
But why did you
Washington.
think that this was a shocking statement? What guy would say that they wouldn't want to be with her?
I said rather than an Asian who, according to this room, are like the greatest thing ever.
No one ever did.
we just are
said it's a
open to new
gay
experiences.
Thing. We just thought it was a gay thing to pick a race not to sleep with.
I guess it is a little
Well,
gay.
you know what, Shelby? I see chicks do that shit all the time where they decide they fuck one race, so you're entitled.
Wait. Are we all saying that girl, the Oscar chick, is she gorgeous?
Yeah, she's fantastic.
She is?
Don't be Philly.
I didn't-
Seriously, for 5 minutes.
I
don't
think
be
there's
Philly.
beautiful, beautiful black women in the world, but I don't think
What
she's...
about
You're acting
Kerry
like-
Washington?
You know we're not talking about Donna McNabb right now, right? Look at this girl
let's see.
and tell me that she's not gorgeous.
She looks like the skinny guy from Boys to Men.
Okay. See, that's racism. That's fucking
That chick's hot. I
didn't say she was like all of them. I said she was another specific one. That's not racist.
That chick's hot. I would do, but remember in Django, Kerry Washington, when they took her out of that fucking slave box?
Yeah, that was hot.
Oh my
Slave
god!
box hot.
We got to be careful now. We're in the slaves we'd fuck. And I think it's one of those things that can be taken out of context.
I already copyrighted that term for my autobiography. Slaves I fuck.
There's really not a good context.
Is there any other races? Anti-Swedes? I can't think of one race that you go, no thank you, until you get to Eskimo. That's the first time.
I swear to you, I was going to, when you said that, I go, well, what about Eskimo? Although, my buddy Dave pulled a pretty... nah, she wasn't.
Just
Never
put up
mind.
hot Eskimos and see if we can find
She wasn't a
It's
hot
just going to be hot
Eskimo.
chicks dressed as Eskimos.
She was the hottest Eskimo.
I just hope,
Yeah, there you go. That's her.
All right, easy. We never know how many Eskimo girls are listening to satellite. Going,
Let me tell you something. If you're up in Alaska for long enough, you're not going to be turned down.
She's hot. She's
an
beautiful.
Inuit
I
on
want
any
her.
level.
I hope they haven't just put fucking fur on a Korean.
I think that's exactly what they did.
Well, they leave her at home. We have to go fight bears. You stay home here.
That's fucking racist again.
They fight bears. They're all over the place.
Pretty sure that's...
It's such a rare thing for an Eskimo to fight a bear.
They're coming at you from all angles outside your igloos.
At least wolves.
I'm not even going to fact check him. I think he's right.
I think Shelby's got
Give
some
us
great
another
points.
thing. Incas? You wouldn't sleep with any Incas?
I mean, that was like really southern, like South American. The deeper you get, I'm kind of like...
Well, how deep are we talking here?
What's the southest South American country?
Well, you don't know shit.
Yeah, you don't know what you're even fucking racist against.
What do you like, Shelby? Like what ethnicities are you into?
Other than
He literally said that he wanted to be gay. He wished he could be gay the other day, so that he would get more dick.
You wish you could
Not more dick. I mean, just seems like it'll be easier. You watch the game, and then, hey, let's just blow each other.
That's an easy, grantable wish, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
finding one to watch a game before he sucks your dick might be hard, but...
Would you settle for just watching the Oscars with, your cat in a bow tie?
You gotta pretend to care about those Tony Awards.
Here's Steve in Philly.
Hey, Ron, you were talking about Scrappler earlier. I
Yes.
just moved to Philly. I just want to know what brand of Scrapple should I buy?
Habersets. Don't even fuck around with anything else. Jump right into Habersets. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
You're welcome. I just saved you a lot of time.
You did?
Yeah. Where'd you move in from? Oh, and he's gone. He just ran out the door. That's the funny thing about Philly now. A lot of people didn't grow up there. People from all over live in Philly.
I wonder
some
why.
kind of fucking white collar jobs.
Yeah, what's the booming market there?
I don't know, but it seems to be a buzz. Either that or people just want to live closer to Bam Margera and his new TV show. I was watching it the other night, and he's got people on. He's going like this. He's voting people off that didn't do stunts, and he's like this. Sorry, you're going home.
Oh, man. I heard him on the radio. I heard him promoting on the radio, and they really have... your butt's all muffed up.
The only accent when it gets worse is when you get into like Baltimore. Then it's like it goes like full retard, as they say in the movies.
Yeah,
gets a little bit grosser.
Yeah, it kind of slides all the way down 95 there, right through Delaware. It's getting more southern.
Over there, you get a bagel, and then
I think I've heard you on the air do the. I think you have the best phrase to show off that accent is I'm going to go get my boat in the water and get a Coke. Get a Coke and a hoagie on the water.
Honey, we're going down on a houseboat. Come on, we're going down to Ocean City. Yeah, we're going from Dover all the way down to Ocean City. Stop in Wilmington, get a hoagie, get a Coke, get some water. I'm never going any more closer down. Never going any more closer.
Water. That was a hard one to break when I got here.
Yeah.
Water.
Yeah.
And then I go home and I just shake my head at my family like some kind of dickhead snob who's learned about the world that they can't find.
And then 5 minutes later, you'll get an argument. You'll follow into it.
I absolutely fall into it. Yeah.
Give me a rum and Coke. Yeah. Go in the house. Go in the house. They'll yell at each other.
And they call everybody this fucking kid.
This fucking
That's
kid.
a Jersey thing too, though. Calling everybody a kid. That's like that's a classic Guido.
Yo, cuz.
Yo, kid.
Yo, cuz.
Cuz.
Yeah, I got a real amalgam of every moron accent from when I moved around. I was like Ohio, Jersey, North Carolina, back to Jersey, and people really refuse to believe I might have read a book.
Ohio really has
I think it's southern.
I think it's got.
That's southern Ohio. The top part where my mom's from is like pop and kid.
Yeah. I think it's more Chicago. My stepmother. My dad's name is Gary. She goes, Geary.
Yeah, that's my mom.
Get over here, Geary.
Erica, Ryan, Kurt. That's my mom. Kurt, Erica. Geary. You're a liar.
Kurt Metzger will appearing on David Tell's Comedy Underground this Saturday at 1 a.m. alongside Nikki Glazer and Mike Vecchione. And
wait, I just want to hear your mom calling the family in again. Kurt, Erica.
Dude, tell them about when your roommates used to listen to your mom's used to be little tape recording voicemails, my answer machine.
My buddy in college, Rich Hensel, he was such a hilarious dickhead. Like he would, my mom would call up looking for there's no cell phone, just leave a message on the answer machine. He saved every one of her messages so he could wake me up every morning with my mother's voice. He goes, "Hi, this is Jerry Metzger. We're calling for Kurt Metzger. Curdy, it's your mom."
Full names.
Kurt.
Dude, talk about just growing up. Your friend Rich, who you're talking about, when I met him, when I first met Kurt, this dude was he had an anarchy leather jacket with like a safety pin through his nose, and I saw him. I was filming something at a rest stop upstate New York at one point, and he was passing through with his girlfriend. And he had like a tucked in like alligator shirt, like the khaki
Rich,
pants.
he was my buddy because I didn't, I was never like a mute, like I knew about bands or anything. I always had like some friend that was like cooler with that shit, So he was always like, he was one of my funnier friends, but he always knew about like the cooler, so I'd always be hanging out. So I used to go to all these like punk shows and shit when that became a thing, and like I wasn't into it, but I wanted to hang out with people. So I'd be following him around to like record stores where he flips through records I don't give a shit about.
You're wearing a hypercolor t-shirt.
Yeah, I literally I'd be wearing like a hypercolor, trying to like fit in with a fucking group somewhere. It's actually nice of them to bring me along. Now that I think about it,
all these things: record shopping, basketball. He doesn't want to do anything.
And then when I became friends with Kurt, I would go along with him to cool things that other people he knew figured out. We went to some like wealthy person's like Halloween party last minute, and we had to make Halloween costumes. So we had you write "Thug Life" on my belly.
Yeah, okay, that wasn't through me. That was my ex-girlfriend.
No, I'm saying it wasn't through you. I'm saying I would tag along with you, and we would go to other people's cool things, but do it wrong. But you painted "Thug Life" on my stomach, my fat gut, and I was Tupac. But Kurt put on a cat suit.
I was Freddie Mercury
with his and. We didn't realize when we left to go to this thing, he looked great. He looked like Freddie Mercury.
Well, let me explain. You know how when you wear dress socks and like your leg hairs start poking out of your sock? So I'm just wearing Freddie Mercury with no underwear in this thing and bald hair. There's an entire
bush.
Yeah, just poking out of the fucking
of ball hair came out, and then people started talking about it at the park, and we had to leave.
And by the way, I attempted. This is what shore trash I am. I attempted to take the bread bowl full of dip. I attempted to take that with me. Like, did that guy with his ball hair out just take the hors d'oeuvres?
By the way, every time we pointed it out to you at first, you would just grab the leotard and pull it out, and all the ball hairs would go away, and then you'd walk around, and they would just find their way through again. It was amazing. It was like a time-lapse Chia Pet photography.
There was never any point where Freddie Mercury threw on a pair of gym shorts. And just,
No, I mean, I think it's pretty true to Freddie Mercury.
I think he shaved bald. I bet he was a smooth boy. No,
I think
mustache, smooth dick.
Plus,
and
he always
balls.
had his teeth to cover everything.
Fake teeth too. Or we put a big wad of.
You put a wad of paper in your mouth. You look fantastic.
Kurt Metzger's going to be at the Moon Tower in Austin at the Blue Moon, the Parish, April 23rd. New York's finest, the New York Bar, April 24th. Unhinged, back at the Paris, April 25th. And Sklar-tacular at Stateside, April 26th.
I got to. In fact, I got at 3. I got to go do my podcast, Race Wars with Sherrod, our racially based podcast.
Every week is race. It's about race.
There's always something, man.
Yeah.
Somebody's always mad about something.
Why are you still giving me the signs when I say you're allowed to say it?
We should break. We need to catch it.
We're breaking. It's Ron and Fez. It's the Ron and Fez show. Kurt just had to step out. What was he up doing?
His podcast. There was podcast at 3
I didn't know
o'clock.
that the podcasts were done live. I thought you could just do them anytime you want it and then upload them.
You can, but I think his is like that, but it's the
only time he could.
I think he has probably has a situation, an organized thing.
I thought maybe Shelby said something to hurt his feelings.
His Asian thing.
And then you brought up that story about his ball hair sticking through his Freddie Mercury suit. It might
That's
have
hard.
got to him after a while.
For a kid who wishes he was gay, that's hard to hear.
Yeah. What happened to Shelby? He left the room.
He's on the board now.
That's weird.
It is weird. I thought he would come back in here.
I'm coming. I'm just sitting.
No, you're not coming. You lost it. Send Vito back in. You lost your shot. You lost your time on the carousel. It's out. And the difference between you and Vito, look at that kid run.
We can hear it.
All he wants is Big Mike time.
Shade 45 has no idea what's going on. Just freaked out.
All their fears have come true.
Yeah, sure.
A giant stomping white man outside the
Italian
studio.
kid running quick. They think it's Fat Mike from fucking Brooklyn. What was that guy's name years
It
ago?
was Fat Nick.
Fat Nick
from Howard
Did
Beach.
he ever get out of jail yet?
He's still in.
He hit some guy in the head with a bat for being in the wrong neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there was a lot of carjackings going on at the time.
Okay.
That's the wrong neighborhood for carjackings.
Yeah. Don't like that.
You got like 15 years, somewhere around there.
Yeah, but there's going to be good behavior, too.
Yeah, you can't do it again in jail. There's no bats.
There's shivs.
He's in the wrong neighborhood in jail.
You know what you've been doing? You've been listening.
Wow. I don't know why that fired.
Maybe you touched something?
I didn't touch anything.
You run what's known as a loose board, my friend.
That was from the other room.
Shelby, was that you?
Yeah, just slide in the pad data. Sorry about that.
What did he say in English?
He hit up the wrong button, is what happened.
What button were you trying to hit?
Just updating the pad data now that Kurt skedaddled. Sorry.
Oh, damn, he's so terrible. You really want to get in our gang, Vito?
I would love that.
I might have you kill Shelby then. You got to kill your way in, kill your way out.
What was the movie? He's got to kill him with piano wire, crying, saying, "Don't look at me" the whole time.
Don't look at me. How would you want me to kill him? Or do you want me to get creative?
You're another kid raised without a father, but yours was a...
Dead.
Yeah.
Dead dad.
It's way different.
How old were you?
I was like 4.
Last thing you remember, your dad coughing and wrapped in a blanket.
Yeah, being all cancery. I thought my dad was black for a while because he had no hair and he was really tan because he still went to the beach. So for 2 years, I told people I was like half black, and my mom was like, "You're not half black." Stop telling people that.
You're like the first thing you remember. Your first memory is wearing a little suit, and someone said, "You're the man of the family now.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on your mom." Not too much pressure.
Put your dad's pinky ring on you.
It's real big, and giant.
Wear this.
We were talking about this New York. Was it sixth favorite? Funniest city. Number 1, Chicago. Number 2, Boston. Number 3, of course, everyone knows this, Atlanta. All the funny people coming out of Atlanta.
Is that that's number 4?
Number 3, I thought.
Is Atlanta?
Yeah. Now, where are you as Chicago is the funniest city?
I would disagree only because, they've actually bumped up a lot of their stand-up clubs now. Mm-hmm. They do. They have an improv. I think they have a Laugh Factory now. A place called Up, I believe is
that
there.
Right?
Yeah, so they've and they still have like Rascals and shit apparently and Zanies, but like it's which is a decent amount of clubs for a city, but I'd have to assume it's number 1 funniest, and it's not saying just stand up, is because of the improv.
The second city, and then the Improv Olympics were created there.
Is that where the Groundlings are too?
No, Groundlings are in Los Angeles.
That's LA. I don't know. Improv is just, I'm never that into it.
Give us 2 characters right now. I mean, there's a baker and a gynecologist. Everyone always does that one.
One's Chinese, the other one's Jamaican.
And where are we? Give us a place that will be out at the time.
Let me see your pussy, Mom. You know what? When I do it, it is good. All right. Chicago rules.
See, here's the thing. And you're learning this now. It's more fun to do improv than it is to watch it.
Oh, my God. Watching it is the worst.
It's like a Halloween party. It's fun to dress up, but do you really want to see someone in a costume? Is that funny to you?
It's like watching 2 guys have a football catch. It's a war, but having a football catch is great.
Even at the beach. Yeah. Hey, I'm glad you guys are here. Yeah, you're throwing it back and forth. You're doing all right.
Look at that. Atlanta being 3rd blows my mind. That's just all like black guys with gold teeth comedy.
Yeah, that's
shout out to Tyler Perry.
Man, Soulja Boy. And who was the other rapper from down there?
T.I.
There was a
who the one he had his own soldiers.
Oh, Master P.
Yeah, Master P.
And the No Limit Soldiers.
No Limit.
That's New Orleans.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I thought that was Atlanta.
No, that's Master P was New Orleans.
I know it was the Dirty South.
Oh,
the Dirty.
There was a guy. You ever watch that show, Who Got Jokes? On TV One?
No.
Never comes across your plate?
No, oddly enough, I missed it.
It's Bill Bellamy hosts this show, and how they normally do it is they have a guy, like you come out and do comedy, and then they have 3 random audience members are like the judges, and they give you a score from 1 to 5, and it's a contest. Every week it's a episode is a contest. And just like, when you turn over judging of comedy to just the people... I don't know. It's funny. If you give it to a trained eye, I guess it's like too much. The people are confused. If you turn over to the people, it's just idiotic. This guy goes out there and he's just eating shit with bad jokes. Then he tells a bad joke about having roaches. I got so many roaches. I named them motherfuckers. and then that does well. And the best score is a 5, the worst is a 1. And some guy in the audience really goes, he goes, man, you lost me there for a minute. I don't know what the hell you were talking about. But then you start talking about roaches, and everybody got roaches, so you just stick with that next time. I gave you a perfect score. I gave him a 5, like a perfect score. I'm like, like the shittiest part of the set.
The last thing I heard amused me. 5.
Yeah, that's it. Just that last thing got me. You're right. That's how the show runs. It's 4s or 5s or 1. No one gets a 2 or a 3. There's no such thing.
We got jokes.
Who got jokes?
Big J's Crowdwork show is happening tomorrow night at 9:30 in New York City at the Village Underground. The What's Your Fucking Deal show. Comics scheduled to appear: Keith Robinson, Bonnie McFarlane, Louis Gomez, David Tell, and Dan Soder, all hosted by Big J Oakerson.
Sweet.
Gonna be a good one.
Last time you were in here with the Tell, you guys were actually doing the tour. I think you went over on one of the truckers' channels after you left. And
yeah, it's really funny to go over to a channel and then find out when you get done, you're like, I wonder if we were allowed to curse on that show.
Yeah. I know you can't on any of the music channels.
No, they don't like that. They'll freak out.
Yeah.
The trucker thing.
Which is bad because I always like to say, here's a fucking song. Here's a song I think you're going to fucking enjoy. It's the Goo Goo Dolls. It's fucking Iris.
Oh, shit. I just forgot that also. After 3 audience members judge you, you also get judged by Tommy from the show Martin sitting in a throne. He also judge you you also. And if it goes bad, it goes bad.
It goes south.
It's so funny though. But they also there's 2 rounds on every episode. So whenever you do the second round, you have to come back out and they throw some kind of they call it a comics challenge at you. Mm-hmm. So possibly what will happen is they'll put a comic in the audience heckling you, or I've seen it go as crazy as in the middle of your set somebody comes out and distracts you on stage, which is
on purpose.
Which in the era of Dimebag Darrell being shot in the face on stage probably would scare the hell out of somebody. And then when they go, oh okay, so you turn around and then a second person throws a pie in your face, and then they want you to, how do you handle that on stage? You
pull a gun
because that's what to tell you. Yeah, that's how to handle. That's what makes a true comic. Can you handle someone blasting you in the face with a pie? From the same minds that brought you, you can do comedy everywhere. Comes, hey, can you? How good would you do if someone blasted you in the face with a pie? He goes, I don't know. You'd probably end the show. The manager would get involved. I guess the cops would probably be called in some way, or you'd be in a physical fist fight.
Your guy, Terry Richardson, is dumped by Vogue, Chris.
Giant. All right, so a tweet came out last night where a model who supposedly worked with Terry, her name is Emma Appleton. This is the tweet that she sent a screenshot out of from Terry to her. Terry, if I could fuck you, I will book you in New York for a shoot for Vogue. So now Vogue is distancing themselves. This girl's deleted her Twitter account. And this has been building for a while. People just coming out saying Terry Richardson's a creep. The photographer, he did the Cat Daddy video for Kate Upton.
But here's the thing, you can say no. You don't have to say yes.
I'm sure this is the first time a model's been offered to fucking blow someone or bang it.
But never put anything into writing. Go call me right away. I might have work for you. And then say, if you fuck me, I can get you work. But don't write that out there where she can simply retweet easy enough.
Well, I've also heard stories that he has just handlers that do it for him. So he's not, directly fucking saying, blow me and I'll fucking get you into a magazine.
Isn't he the guy that got Miley Cyrus, right? Take the cramming the underwear up her crotch pictures?
Yeah.
Right? He's
Yeah.
that guy, right?
Soda can.
Yeah.
If
Pretty
there's
good.
fucking explicit photos of celebrities out there that look professional, he's probably done them.
Here's where I would disagree with you when you say look professional. Because he's not a good photographer.
Oh, yeah, I don't think they look...
He just fucking... It's always against a white backdrop.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's just using some fucking run-of-the-mill camera.
His iPhone.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Now let's turn around and have you finger yourself. Perfect.
No, blow me, right? Good. It's good stuff.
That's good.
You know who I am? Terry Richardson.
How often do you think this takes place in the world of modeling, though?
Fucking 100 times a day. There's enough magazines and photo shoots and photographers.
I've
and
heard
fashion
enough
people.
thing, too, of just like movie directors. Well, these young girls that are going out and wanting to make it in the business with their headshots. Oh, come on over. We're going to talk about it at my place tonight.
Or young dudes, too, because the Bryan Singer thing's been blowing up all for last week.
All right, but Bryan Singer wasn't even in Hawaii when that guy said he was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's why I don't like to bring it up and fucking name check him until there's something that actually comes down. But did you see how much the guy who accused him looks like Shelby?
Really creepy.
We can send Shelby out to L.A. tomorrow.
He could just be used like a piece of meat. Good old Shelby. I think they wear him down too quick.
I don't have to actually be fucked. I'll just do the accusing. It'll save a lot of time.
You don't want to lie, though, do you?
I'd rather do that than actually get raped.
I worry about a lie detector test.
Guy directed X-Men. He can't get dick. They always want what they can't get, huh?
Yeah. They want fucking straight boys is what they want. They want to turn a straight boy.
Why?
I can't blame them.
Why do you think that is?
I have to feel the struggle against your cock. It's very, very exciting.
It really clinches them up.
Yeah.
You're hard against your will.
Yeah.
If you love it, it goes in easy.
I mean,
You gotta
why does
hate it a
anybody
little.
rape? Why does anybody rape? Let's go over here to Brad in Philly. Take your thumb off it, Howard. Thanks. Howard, take your thumb off of it.
Put the phone on hold, Howard.
Howard, radio. Brad, go ahead, buddy. Brad, you're on the air.
Hey, Ronnie, I believe there used to be a Tumblr called I Miss the Old Terry, and it was like pictures of him just getting blown and fucking chicks. And it was like, I guess like all the outtakes and stuff. And it's just like him just partying like crazy.
I never heard about this before. I missed the old Terry. What's
Yeah,
the name of it?
like the first stuff I saw I remember do was for Vice, and it wasn't like famous people. It was just fucking weird, grimy shit.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and
how'd they get him with famous people then?
I don't know. Eventually, I guess he got one famous person and fucking worked from there. But yeah, he was fucking just constantly fucking posting pictures of his dick and banging broads. It seemed like he wasn't a photographer, just a guy who like taking pictures of fucking. It's fucking. It's real weird that he's blown up this big.
Is he an older dude?
Yeah,
he looks
he's
older.
like late 40s, early 50s. He looks like. Just looks like some fucking.
He just gets celebrities to like show gash.
Yeah, well, close. It's not exactly nude most of the time.
No,
And Miley Cyrus is pretty
Pretty
over
close.
the top.
There he is.
Oh, is that
Getting
him and
blown.
Steve-O with their dicks tucked?
Yeah.
Well, that's hot.
He's real
Only
crazy.
thing is, they're tucking each other's dick between the other person.
Is that a girl actually blowing him?
Yeah.
This looks like him.
Or is this? Make it larger.
There you go, Terry.
Well, that's
Good for that dude.
That's Terry doing his
He's got a
fucking
girthy
thing.
piece too, man. I'd take more pictures of my dick if it looked like that.
Yeah, they're not going to be there to suck a. Oh, there he is getting his asshole eaten out.
I got a good look at myself. I had a door mirror and a giant bathroom mirror. Caught me on a profile and 3/4 turn naked out of the shower in my hotel this way, and I really am just furious at my own penis. It is such a that's it. I wouldn't even work out and lose any more weight than I have in life now if I had a dick that hung well, and it really bummed me out. Sorry, guys. My dad's not around, so I have to talk to you guys about this kind of
I
stuff.
wouldn't even talk to you about it with your dad about it.
Dad, what's up with our dicks, huh?
Hey, Matt, you're on the Run and Fez show.
Gentlemen, how are you today? The first thing about Terry Richardson is he looks like the cliche of every sexual predator you see on TV. He's got like the bad sun, he's got the bad glasses, the bad mustache, the bad skin. He's like a checklist of everything you'd see for.
He looks like everyone on the internet to me.
The other thing is, Ron, I have to agree with you 100%, is that all the pictures that he takes that you see online, they're always the same poses with them doing like the awkward thumbs up or they're wearing Terry's glasses or anything like that. There's no artistic value. Like Dave LaChapelle or Herb Ritz or Annie Leibovitz or anything like that, they always change the shoots that they make and everything like that. They always up the ante when it comes to creativity. Terry used to do good work, but it seems like I can't explain it, but he just does like the same repetitive.
I think the fact that he can get them to do that is interesting. The fact that he gets Miley Cyrus to take these pictures that she really shouldn't be taking career-wise works. And maybe he's not a great photographer, but he's got that rap to say, here, I want you to do that. And they feel safe enough to do something this stupid.
I mean, they love this man.
So he's like a really good fake agent for celebrities.
He's a
like
guy
fake
that
agent porn.
You definitely would want him selling cars for you. You know, and like later you're going to hear some bad shit about him. Go, yeah, but he brings in a lot of money.
Yeah,
Is it
well, that's
kinda
right,
like the
Lindsay
Hollywood
Lohan. You're going to leave, and then Britney Spears is going to come in here, and she will put a 2-liter bottle up her ass. So, you going to do it?
Is it kind of like the whole casting couch thing, though, that like agents tell them, oh, it's really beneficial for your career to pose to this guy, even though, you know, like that Hollywood Nouveau crap?
I mean, as long as he's not raping someone, if he's saying to some girl, you know, I mean, to me it should be between him and his boss, not him and us. If some girl says, oh, I want to blow someone to move my career along, who's to say?
But then Vogue came out and said, yeah, we haven't worked with him in 3 years, so we don't know what he was talking about.
Just name checking them.
Yeah.
All right, have a good night, guys.
See you later.
Good night. It's fucking 2:30.
Maybe he's been up all night. Maybe he knows he won't see us tonight. He wants us to have a nice sleep.
Oh, my God.
You know? Look, I pulled off the impossible today. I fucking made sure that the Boston Marathon was totally secure.
It's great. You really did this country a service.
Yeah. I wish they would have hired me last year. I'm glad they got me this year. Well, here's my thing that I would do to make everything as secure as you want. Anyone that's brown is thrown to the ground and arrested immediately. And if they clear, then we free them, but in another state.
Oh my God. And then we just have 8 people running in the marathon.
Yeah.
There they are. And there they are.
A lot of white people running in that marathon.
Boston Strong.
Yeah. Like if I was Pakistani, I'm like, no, I'm not going to the marathon.
It's not worth it.
I don't really feel like going. It's too accusatory there.
Is it a spectator thing?
But you never saw the New York Marathon?
Yeah, but I mean, like, it just seems like, what a boring thing to watch.
Well, you know, they have bands set up, people are partying, you're taking the day off.
They drink in Boston too, right? They drink all day there for the Boston Marathon.
Yeah. They're fucking Irish people. Of course they're going to drink.
So it's just drinking excuse.
Yeah.
It's like NASCAR. No one really enjoys, like, the art.
I'd throw football into the same place. Most people are drunk at the games.
Yeah, but I think people, like, there's an excitement to it. It's hard to, there's no building tension or excitement to NASCAR. It's waiting for accidents, and then this day's over. Here's the weird thing. A lot of people are writing that they can't believe that we're live today because they thought today we were taking off because yesterday was Easter. But Easter doesn't even feel like that big of a holiday to me. Oh, you know what's funny? I was surprised in the Midwest where I was how big of a deal it was to people, it seemed like. I said, even like my dad who lives out there, it's like, he had to leave because the next day they had everyone's going to church, and then a huge dinner at someone's house, and I'm like, yeah.
It should be bigger than Christmas. I mean, you think about it, in one place, it's just the guy's born. The other place, he rose from the dead.
Yeah, it's way more badass.
That seems gigantic.
Birthday parties, though. Birthday parties are big.
Funerals aren't?
Birthday parties are bigger than funerals.
Oh, you ever been to a funeral?
Yeah, my dad's.
All right, did your dad sit up and start walking around? Because that would be a lot bigger than his birthday. And that's what Jesus did. He rolled away the stone. He rolled it away.
Took off.
He doesn't even seem that impressed by that.
No. I thought you were a Catholic boy.
Very Catholic. Easter was a big deal yesterday.
What'd you end up doing for it?
I had about, like food-wise, chicken parm. Chicken parm.
Every fucking holiday with you people is chicken parm.
We love chicken parm. Chicken parm and ziti with...
That has nothing to do with Easter.
Huge.
That's what you guys do every Sunday anyway.
No. That's what my mom cooks for the big holidays.
Yeah, you're always saying that your mom was going to bring a chicken parm.
She actually asked me if I wanted to bring some in, and I was like, I don't know if they want day-old chicken parm.
God damn it, I want day-old chicken parm. A couple of rolls, you make a nice little lunch out of it.
We might still have some left. I'll check if you want it tomorrow. You want 2-day-old chicken parm?
My mom thinking about sending you home and having you grab it now. You're always bragging about your mom's chicken parm. She came in to see Fonzie.
She was lighting the crowd up. She started one clap.
Yeah.
Like he said something about like his neighborhood where we're from, and she goes, and then everybody clapped. And then every time after that he said something, she was like, "This is my moment. Like I got this." And she would clap again.
Well, she was good in the crowd.
Yeah.
She fueled Fonzie.
Yeah.
She enjoyed it.
There was even a little bit of eye contact, and he went over and talked to her afterwards.
Yeah, he went over, shook her hand. She was like, "Oh my God, Fonzie."
You know what he said to her? He said, "Shake the hand that shook the world, honey." That was right there. You're talking to the Fonz right now. Why shouldn't he be?
She, I'll blow you in the bathroom. Hey.
Hey.
Tracy Morgan would have scared the shit out of her.
Oh, sure.
Her in the front row, him going, "You're gonna get pregnant."
Yeah, I was gonna say he probably asked her to blow him in the bathroom. How'd you blow me in the bathroom on commercial?
He was saying some crazy shit.
I've had when he comes around, I cancel the rest of my plans and just talk until he leaves because he is the most unfocused.
Yeah.
He's talking about, he goes, here's my theory of why comedy is falling apart. Look at this big titty bitch over here. And then he's like, follow her around for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's just great. But I love it. I
love it too.
And there's these flickers of weird brilliance in between. What I'm so impressed by with him, have you ever watched the YouTube video of him on the morning show? In Houston, Texas, I think it is. It's my favorite YouTube video.
Where he takes his shirt off.
And of course, he went to Vietnam. And then they asked him to do a character, and he goes, I can't do that. That character's too graphic. And then he's like, I'm going to get somebody pregnant. You watch 2 days.
He actually...
Ladies, my Mercedes. There's actually a point of the video where you pinpoint where he turns.
Where he gets nutty. Well, this... In the fucking green room, I knew that his head was going to be into being serious because he wanted to be taken serious. And then he would just be saying stuff like, when opportunity knocks, you don't just answer the door. You grab its ass and pull it down in the basement and tie it up. I got fucking opportunity right now. Gagged in my basement. He's just staring at everyone. And he wants everyone to know that it's important. It was so fucking much fun.
Yeah, it's almost like you're talking to a fictional character.
Right. And it looks like it's fun to be him.
And then how? What the yeah, even just visually, this video is ridiculous.
Did you ever see that they did that thing on him with 30 Rock where that he goes on Conan and just says, I'm a stabbing robot. That was a knife out. He's just trying to act like he's stabbing Conan. And Conan's like, hey, stop it. Cut it out. I am a stabbing robot.
But I don't know what's amazing. I've always been amazed by, and somehow, when it comes to game time, he focuses in and just does it. Like right. he nails his character in 30 Rock. It's insane.
He's getting another show, too. They're giving him another show.
Oh, yeah. People love it. Just stabbing robot.
All right, Hicks has decided we're leaving at 3, huh?
We have something to take care of.
You mean take care of like this?
No.
What you made it sound like?
No violence.
Why don't you plug Big J's Big Crowd Work show? It's What's Your Fucking Deal? Bring up Chris Hell. It's Tuesday, April 22nd, 9:30 at the Village Underground, or 9:30 when Cleveland sleeps. Keith Robinson's going to be there.
Bonnie McFarlane, Luz Gomez, David Tell, Dan Soder. That's the What's Your Fucking Deal show. That's tomorrow, April 22nd at 9:30 p.m. at the Village Underground in New York City.
You tell Soder next time he comes in, I'm going to make him do it. I'm going to have him do a quiz against Fez in wrestling trivia.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He'll be very excited about it. I bet he's got that WWE Network thing, and he's always like, so that's where I draw a line. He calls me and he goes, dude, next time you come over, Starcade 86. I'm like, I don't know if I'll be into the whole thing.
Is that when they had the cages on top of cages?
Yeah, it was Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express versus the Road Warriors, scaffold match. I'll see you next week.
You know it's a good sporting event if they're on top of scaffolding.
This is a scaffold match? Sure.
All right, Vito, I just want you to run over and get Shelby before the show. Just go over and pull his shirt off in there.
Do it. Show that fucking body off.
Shelby, it's up to you to keep your shirt from being taken off.
Someone's trying to block the door so it doesn't happen.
Smart idea. Stop him there.
I want to see that kid shirtless.
Barbarians at the gate.
Dancing in shirt. What the hell?
I'm with Fesby. If he missed the day, Shelby was topless.
Look, he pulled him in here like a... Doesn't he have to...
What? Oh, this feels back alley rapey.
Yeah, this is bad. I got bullying. I'm sorry, Shelby. I thought it would be fun, but it turned into bullying.
Now Shelby's going to need 3 minutes to tuck his shirt back in.
Jeez. The noise that was coming out of that fucking tuck job. What do you want to say to us, Shelby, before we leave today?
You know, yeah, a lot of pets out there. Make sure to spay and neuter them. What? Do your part.
You're a weird fucking kid, dude.
Picked up where Bob Barker left off.
You're a weird kid. You're always thinking about dog dick every single day. Yeah. See you later, man. Thanks for stopping in today.
Thank you for having me. This was awesome.
Later, we're going to test and see how you did. We're going to run your stuff past the audience. And
get some analytics back.
Yeah, get a Q score. See what happens. Oh, listen to this. I always like to say this.
That's the end of my show. Donk.